Welcome to Machismo TV, the ultimate destination for modern men seeking to upgrade their lifestyle. Subscribe to Machismo TV and Saul T-Balls. We stream daily from 12 midnight to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the best male-centric content. Highlight reels without reviewing or providing any editorial bias to the content. We have done so much, with so little for so long, we are now qualified to do anything, with nothing.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. I know I scheduled for 11, but I got to tell you, I ate some food today that gave me the itis. So, got a little sleepy there, but I'm here now. So, welcome to the show. This is Kevin, whichever you want to use. Old nigga, country, Bama. That's for the haters. Because, I really don't give a fuck anyway. But you're here, so welcome to the show. Let me get some shout outs in the chat. You got Prof Days, who was here first. I don't know if he's here now. Some of you were here before 11 o'clock. So had Gold P in the building. That's the Gold Professor. RPM. Andre 420. Christopher the Conqueror. Chaos Reign. Yeah, it happened. So, for those of you who, you For those of you who are here right now, just switch your notification bell to all, so y'all will know when I'm coming on. Because yeah, because some of y'all are here earlier. My ass act like I don't know how to schedule it for 11:30 and 11:45. But I try to be on time from here on out. So yeah. So let me shout out to the members of the chat. We got, I mean, well, the members of the channel rather. Oh yeah, I got a new member over the past couple of days. So let me go ahead and shout you members out. Thank you. And if if you want to yourself, for those of you who aren't, $2.99 per month will get you a membership here. So let me shout out the members. We got Greg, Aaron P, Phil Brad, Prof Days, Indigo Flow, The Builders Table, that's Gold P, D Rock Den, American Negro News, Mr. Me Too, Barry Little, D Scott, Yumcha 11, Black Pearl, Andre 420, Blue Marvel 9, Detroit 313, The Sower of Seed, Black Light Revelations 2, and the new member, Revelator, the Spirit of Variance. All right. So thank you for being members. Like I said, if you're listening and you're not a member too, yourself, you can join for $2.99. I don't have different tiers. That's it, $2.99. So pretty much thank you. Plus, look what's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Like, share, subscribe, Cash App, BMBBH for life, just like on the screen. Kind of above Roman Reigns' head for entertainment purposes only. Fair use. Language warning, because I do curse quite a bit on this channel. It's, when you have brutal in your title, you can expect a little profane language. And as long as I stay within community standards, everything should be okay. So, yeah. So, just here to have the tough conversation. So, this tough conversation, this tough dialogue that I'm about to give is it's kind of for me too, because I'm seeing a little bit of feedback about my channel on other channels instead of people coming to me about it, which people like Revelator have done, or people like Andre 420 has done, which I call those men right there. And I mean, my audience should not be afraid to be transparent with me. I've been seeing a lot of people on other channels like, well, I unsubbed from Kev because Kev, gave a certain somebody a wrench. So since he support lames, I'm gonna unsub him. Let me see if I can pull up that slideshow so I can show y'all what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't know if I saved it yet. But this ain't belly aching, man. If there's somebody here that doesn't want to watch, I say it ever so often that there are people who are not going to like this channel, and they're not going to be satisfied with the things I say. I'm not built for all taste. Nightish, what's good? Thank you for still being subbed. Okay, so let me see. All right. So I just got through explaining the membership tiers. I mean, I just got through calling out the members rather. But these are the membership badges right here. The new members, you get the thumbs up, telling you thank you. If you've been here 2+ months, you get the emoji. And if you've been here 6+ months, you get the K. Some of you are approaching a year, so I got to figure out something for a year. Okay, so all right, let me let me show you what I'm talking about when I say people are unsub. And every time I get it, every time a black man has something to say on these social media platforms, is viewed certain ways. It's viewed as crying, whining. You act like when a motherfucker got something to say, there's always a complaint about it. So I just want to let y'all know, if you believe that, well, fuck you too. It ain't no sweat off my back. But this kind of shit I'm talking about right here. I think this guy used to be a member. He said, I unsubbed from BMBBH because I seen Gabe had a wrench. And, me being smug, like, I should not have ever said anything to this person. I should have never said anything. I mean, I should have lived and let live. I should have let it be. But, I just, this is for these people that are like this. And I'm like, good. You and him are gone. Fragile. Yeah. Yeah. And also, I unsubbed from Brutal Honesty when I saw Gabe had a wrench. See, that's two people. Like, the fuck, man? So basically, a bunch of people telling me, hey, Kev, you can run your channel how you want. Don't let nobody tell you how to run your channel. Because I guess they suggested that Keep It 100 was telling me how to run my channel. But when I do run my channel, there are people that are, dissatisfied, with one mistake. This is what I don't get. I don't get. I make one mistake, people just bow out. Don't care about the hours and hours and hours I put into content. They just say, "Hey, you know what, Kev? Since you got that gave that person a wrench, I'm out." And that's fine because I got into this whole thing about BGS and wrenches. So I mean, if people want to play the wrench game with me, that's fine too. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I'm not going to act like I can say it, but you can't or anything like that. But the whole thing with BGS was that was different. That was different right there. I mean, seriously, Christopher the Conqueror said, to be honest, I get why these hoes in shambles. Well, because a lot of these niggas are whole too. SMH. LOL, like I already said, Gabe was irritating, but at least he stood on his point. And this is a place of brutal honesty, which should allow, black men to come here, to come here and speak their mind. And Gabe was a black man too, whatever or whoever had an opinion on him or whatever. I mean, it is what it is. Uh, and I mean, I didn't see it as too much of a problem, but at the same time, I know how certain people feel about Gabe. So, got Prof Days. I don't want to tell you how to run your channel, but I'm going to tell you how to run your channel. Just shut the fuck up and let the person do what they want to with their channel. Exactly. Like I wasn't trying to tell BGS how to run his channel. I mean, you can have whatever uh you can have whatever mod, whatever you can have who you want to on your channel. But I'll tell you one thing though. One thing I would agree with is I'm not gonna have people on this channel who believe in censorship of black men voices because a lot of things I seen was very disgusting. You know, and that's in reference to May and how she views content in this space. I mean, she said that she's an activist and she's trying to get rid of hate speech and you know what I'm saying. I'm going to tell you some like people are allowed to use their Twitter fingers to do whatever they want to do. But I mean, if you are a certain way, you need to be called out for it. And then it didn't sound like to me that May was really trying to get rid of hate speech channels. I mean, because if she did, uh, that little broadcast that she did, she would have targeted the divestors. I mean, everybody wants to target the black manosphere, which for that reason, um, it made me champion the space somewhat. I mean, I'm not with black men. I'm here, and I've said this in the past. I'm here to reinforce the voice of the black man. Make sure that we have a strong enough presence in these media spaces, especially social media, because social media is like one of the easiest venues for us to get our points across. And I mean, and that's for everybody. That's for everybody. I mean, no matter what race, no matter what group you're from, no matter what set you claim or whatever, uh, that the black man's voice is needed, and I think that a lot of people don't like that. So my thing is this: if you see any of these censorship motherfuckers come around here, is on site. Period. Don't let them off the hook. I mean, you have a wrench on this channel, like Art and Stall has a wrench, like Andre 420 has a wrench. You see any one of these people. I mean, if they have wrenches, I'll take care of it. But if they don't have wrench, that's it. I don't believe in censorship. If you can't handle what a person is saying, just don't fucking watch. Don't watch. That's it. That's all you got to do is not watch. I mean, hell, I got people bowing out of watching this channel all the time for whatever reason. You know, a few of them are quite stupid, but hey, I can't force them to watch. I mean, but for if I don't want to watch somebody, then I just don't watch. Period. I don't care. You can go somewhere else and thrive, but if you're not going to thrive in my space or in my mind, then that's okay. Like I said, if I don't like you, I won't watch you. I don't have to flag your channel. I don't have to put you off the platform or try to get you kicked off the platform because I don't like what you're saying. I mean, y'all making shit subjective around here. Like, what hate speech is. I mean, ain't no way to tell what hate speech is in a black space. Hate speech, in black spaces is defined as whatever you don't like. It's ridiculous. Like you guys are dumb. But I wasn't gonna, use this as an opportunity to, I would say, attack the audience. Because you know what? I never really disrespect you guys. I mean, I don't. Why attack my audience? I mean, I appreciate you guys for being here. But like I said, I spent hours and hours and hours saying all this so-called cool shit that some of y'all act like y'all want to hear. And then guess what? One mistake, one move I make, and you guys are gone. You guys are gone. I mean, and then this is after I say bullshit like, black men only get one chance to screw up. I mean, I don't know if y'all remember that show I did where Tory Lanez was found guilty of shooting Megan Thee Stallion in the foot and then got sentenced to prison. Say, black man, you only get one chance to screw up because you don't get any other chances. I don't. So with a lot of black men, I only got one chance to screw up. After that, it's like, oh, okay, we ain't gonna fuck with Kevin no more. Yeah. So for me, no matter how good I am, no matter how diplomatic I am, no matter how balanced I am, some of y'all ain't gonna ever be satisfied with me. So what I was talking about a few weeks ago was running a scorched earth policy. And I can't make the rest of the space do that. I can't make the rest of the space fortify, even though I suggested time and time again that we fortify the space. We are real careful with interlopers as they come in this space. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Some of you guys, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it, would rather be simps. Y'all rather simp for these women. And I mean that's fine too, because you can put that on heterosexuality all you want. I sometimes will too. We like boobies, we like cute faces, we like vagina, and we like a nice ass, a nice backside. And then if we can find a woman that can, provide, the the mental stimulation that we need, then we'll stick by that bitch all day. And I do understand that because there are certain things that women and hoes can do for you that I can't. And it's just that simple. It's all good, bro. It's all good. But I mean, as far as this YouTube stuff goes, I know where I know where my support lies. My support lies in the people that are in the chat right now. My support lies in the replay gang, people who choose to consume my content when I'm not doing this live and in real time. Those are the real ones. That's why I call the membership real by association, because it's gonna take a real one to stick around. And I do most certainly appreciate that. I could be talking about tonight. I could be talking about, Tariq Nasheed versus Fresh and Fit and Sneeko. And, and I could tear them apart too. I mean, I don't like guys like Fresh and Fit and Sneeko who tries to deny the history of, blacks in America and tell us that all we do is complain and everything. And I understand that because, we do have issues within our own group of people. What group of people don't have issues though? I mean, but as far as group identity, it is something that we tend to shy away from just because we scared. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's just what it is. Revelator, what's good? What's good, Revelator? Spirit of variance. Yeah, our newest member to this channel. Chance Rogers, what's going on? Say what up, motherfuckers. Yeah, man, that's right. Come in here, man. Come on in here. Come in here with that spirit. Fresh and fit motherfuckers' ass. Not a fan of Tariq either, to be honest. Well, but I would rather roll with Tariq than Fresh and Fit. I'd rather roll with Tariq than Sneeko. Like they always had that picture of Sneeko look like he about to cry. I mean, that shit is awesome, man. Cause I'm like, shit, I would never want to look like Sneeko. It's like shit. But I'm tired of people acting like it's okay to cower away from our group identity. So I mean, not to say that I'm the biggest fan of Juneteenth, but you take what you can get at this point. And if you don't like, things like Black History Month, like Morgan Freeman did, I don't like Black History Month, or you don't like Juneteenth. And I do understand, why some people don't like stuff like that. But mostly these niggas be saying that shit because they scared. They're scared. If you're scared, say you're scared. If you're scared, go to church. Period. I mean, it is what it is, man. But I don't know if I should be showing this email right here because you show an email, they talk about it's a violation of privacy, but this email was sent to me. So I mean, let me see. Hopefully it doesn't show a name. Okay. So I received this email a few days back. I mean, this person can identify themselves if they want to. I don't really fucking care. Do what you want to do, bro. But I'm gonna read this email to y'all. I received this email a few days back, but I don't understand why people would just not come back. I guess they figure, hey, you know what? If I'm gone, I don't want Kev wondering why I'm gone and everything. But this person said, Kevin, after some thought and viewing the end of that market stream, that's Keep It 100. I went on Keep It 100 a couple weeks back. Or was that last week? I don't know. Shit. Yeah, that was last week. He said, in viewing market stream, it seems that you have some opinions of me that have not been addressed, which, somebody could came and talk to me about it. I mean, I'm right here. Dear John. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm gonna keep that up there. He said there are phrases that referred to me as anti-black manosphere and an agent and purposely disruptive. I don't expect you to push back on my behalf, but your response was, I need to do some soul searching, which that was me generally speaking. I'm working towards solving the problem. Yeah, I'm always working towards solving problems. You always have to self-evaluate. And I gotta tighten the reins. Yeah, of course. I foolishly let people in. People. People now. It's not just that person. I foolishly let people in. That probably shouldn't be here. If you're gonna send me an email like that, you shouldn't be here either. Let me help you tighten the reins, solve your problems of disruption, and improve the way you're perceived in the space. I'll remove myself from showing up to your channel. It's been real. Some of y'all in the chat, you're trying to guess who it is. I mean, and like I said, that's cool with me. I make one mistake and niggas are gone. Which, you know what I'm saying? I was never good enough for you in the first place. If it's like that. I mean, and I'm fine with that. I'm this is not even, you're not even the first person to do this. And I guess you won't be the last because there's other people, there are people that, decided that, hey, I'm going to unsubscribe because I give certain people wrenches. Now, did I unsubscribe from BGS just because Maggie Thompson had a wrench and I didn't? No, I don't. I still tune into BGS. I just don't drop nothing in this chat. Oh, yeah. Speaking of Maggie Thompson. Now, some people might get mad at me. I don't give a fuck. When I say this, somebody else might unsub when I say this too, it seems impossible for me to get the 4K subs. Impossible. I'm this close, but people want to unsub. So, hey, getting the 4K has been a quite the daunting task. But let me do this real quick. This is to Maggie Thompson under the veil. Although people have reservations about her being here based on her skin color, what I don't see out of Maggie Thompson is trying to censor black man channels. So, Maggie Thompson, under the veil, I don't know if you listen to this space right here. You definitely be on Roger's channel. You definitely be on Keep It 100's channel. Um, but if for those of you who felt like last week, was it last Wednesday, was a hit piece against Maggie Thompson? I do apologize to her. Okay, people want to get mad with me about that. You're just like, look. It's like this, y'all. Like y'all trying to trust this white woman. Oh, this white woman. She like Pearl. Y'all, yeah, you looking for a white savior and all this other shit. It's like people ingratiate they ingratiate this stature to this person. Like this is how we look at these people. No, it's not. But why, if we got detractors in this space, if we got trolls in this space, if we got agents in this space, if we got people trying to censor black men because they're butthurt about what we're saying, then why the fuck should we be threatened by Maggie? We need to be threatened by those people. Maggie ain't do shit. Maggie ain't do shit to me. Maggie ain't doing shit to y'all either. She's not. So I'm big enough to admit that. I'm big enough to admit that, hey, you know what? Maybe I was being a little too harsh about Maggie. I mean, BGS can do, I mean, still, I'm still going to stand on my square about BGS. And I mean, like, motherfuckers can say I'm clout chasing all they want. Oh, because, BGS is the master teacher and BGS got the bigger channel. No, that ain't never. Look, I was here before I ever ran across BGS. I might not have had as many as 30 people watching at one point, but I mean, at the same time, that's what it is. You know, people can choose to be over here, just like Akron Zippy right here. He calls himself Akron Kangaroo as his tag, but I mean, they can choose to be over here. They can choose to not be over here. But for the shit that people are saying they're not over here for, hey guys, hey, you could have said anything at any time. Hell, I could say it to you. Shoot, just like I said, like I should have never left this reply. I should have just said, this nigga can kick rocks and I just move on. There's the door if you don't like it. If you're listening to this right now and you're perturbed by me actually issuing a somewhat of an apology to Maggie Thompson, there's the door. Unsub. Go to somebody else's channel and talk that shit. It's all good. I will continue to do content. I will continue to, cam up as I recently have cammed up and shoot. And then the people who decide to watch, you guys, you guys are the ones that I care about more than people like this, people who weren't real in the first place. I'm not gonna sit up there and say, "Damn you! Why are you not watching Kevin?" I understand that. I understand I'm not for all taste because I'm not sitting up here dragging black men all around the damn every corner of the earth, talking about how stupid they are and why y'all talking about this and SBE and all this other bull crap. You know what I'm saying? Just because I'm not doing that, just because I'm not dragging other brothers, or just because I'm not dragging black women, like, oh man, these hoes ain't shit every fucking minute of every show. Hell, I drag both. If you a stupid motherfucker, if you male or female, I would drag you. If and I mean like not for having an opposing viewpoint, but for being fucking stupid. Shoot. Shoot. Oh, we got hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power in the building. Yeah. Oh shit, I meant to stop the avatar. Yeah, okay, y'all can hear me. Shoot, the last time I was started talking, shit was muted up. That's just the security of the new laptop. But yeah, man. But like I said, man, look, if you down, you down. If you not, you not. I'll live. I'm a big boy. I'm a big man, rather. Shoot, Maybe I should talk about Tariq versus Fresh and Fit and Sneeko. Or maybe I should talk about the plumber guy that, got fired from his job because he's telling hoes the truth. See, that's a form of censorship and bullying right there. Oh, if you don't kiss my ass, I'm gonna call your job. I wish a motherfucker would call my job. Nah, I'll be picking up the phone. Hey guy, fuck you mean? Oh, for real? Kevin saying all that stuff? Well, let me check. Shoot, Ray Hummer, what's good, man? Shoot, Chris for the company. I tried to hear out SB motherfuckers when they first started, but pretty quick I could tell it was just them trying to shit on BGS to get their views up. Yeah, I mean, I don't have to talk about a grown man. Look, I don't have to talk about other black men just to get people to watch. I don't have to talk about black women just to get people to watch. These 30 plus people that are watching right now, they're watching because of me. And that's the way I prefer it. I don't care about, it's a content strategy, or something like that. If I shit on the next man. Let's see. I try not to do that. I really try not to do that unless somebody pisses me off. But let me check. 4 dislikes. Wow. 4 dislikes. Hey, y'all hear that right? 4 dislikes already. 4 dislikes. 4 dislikes. It might be the motherfucker I put on the screen. Shoot. Yeah. 4 dislikes already. Like I'm saying something wrong. Give a fuck about you. So, look, I'm sorry. I forgot to play the PSA. So those people didn't know. Let me play the PSA real quick.
A warning. Warning. If you hear something that makes you upset on the broadcast, true, opinion, or otherwise, you are free to sign off or go to another channel. If you can't, please contact the displayed number below to seek help. Trolling and hate watching is more serious than you think. Now back to our scheduled broadcast.
Seek help. Seek help. Look, I ain't got time to sit up here and press dislike. I don't think I've ever pressed dislike on people's shit. But I got 17 likes and 30 of you are watching. I also have a Cash App on the screen. You just anything at all will do. Thank you for your support. All of you. I'm gonna say hate watchers, seek help. Yeah, seek help. And there's a smoke show every Sunday, which will continue indefinitely. Like I said, I thought about changing the name since I don't get any smoke. Let me take this off the screen because I'm obviously making a numbnut famous. And you're not gonna get you're not gonna get famous off me. Hate watching is sick. We need them too though. We need them for the algorithm. That's what we need them for. So is that right? Why press dislike when you can stop watching? Yeah. Shit. I didn't watch Cynthia G. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. But people like that aren't the problem. The black manosphere is the problem. Black men who tell the truth about what's going on in this bitch is the problem. I just don't get you guys. And all it is an inherent hate for black men. And that's why a lot of people won't come to this channel because there's an inherent hate for black men. Black men being brutally honest. That's something that black people have a problem with. The majority. I don't believe that it's a small problem. There's a few that want to hear this. There's other people that would rather me shut up and, be quiet, sit down, take all the adversity. And that's it. Shoot. People have a problem. Like I'm saying, if you have a problem with the way black men talk, you have an audience. And that's just all there is. Like that dude, Sharon Bracey, coming up here talking all that shit about black men, and then all of the anti-manosphere runs to his channel. Oh, Rim Brothers, they're red pill incel manosphere. Okay, please come in here with that Rim Brothers crap. Please do. Please do. Please come in here with that shit. I can't wait. Smoke Show every fucking Sunday. If you have a grievance, if you have a disagreement, you can come talk to me about it. You know, you can even say, hey, okay, if you can calm down, man, you're scaring small children. You can say stuff like that. I wouldn't care. I might have a comeback for you. Shoot. Kevin, your hairline. You ain't got no hair. Well, you bald? Nope. No. Nope, not at all. So I just figured this. I gotta be perfect. I gotta be perfect for some of you. I gotta be flawless. I gotta read your fucking mind. I got to be that nigga, no matter what. I mean, I do agree with the whole gotta be that nigga though. If you ain't that nigga, then shoot, nobody's gonna watch. I mean, this was like not really a stream that could have gotten a high amount of views. This is just me talking to you, like most of these streams are. Phil Brad, what's good, man? Glad you can come through. Christopher the Conqueror. Women are hoping they can shame men into simps. They only dissing men further by disregarding. Yeah, they are. Yeah. Yeah, issues with this channel, get it off your chest, have the conversation. No, they don't. I'm starting to believe they don't want none. For real, because, certain content creators were like, oh, I feel funny going over there. I feel funny. I said, that's, you. I mean, you're saying that that's the wrong way to say you're a pussy. If you have the glow, you have to have the glow around you for some niggas to watch. LOL. Yeah, you got to do all this shit like Bruce Leroy. You got that glow. No. Yeah, man. But like I said, if you're a real one, thank you for being here. Despite said, look like your ass about to go fishing, a deer hunting, or fishing. Well, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, this is my trucker hat. I got this as a Christmas gift from my brother-in-law. So, yeah. How you doing tonight? Yeah, I'm doing good. Marcus Romero Productions. How are you, man? Good to see you. Shoot. Like I said, man, I ain't got to be talking shit about other people for MRP to come through. Shoot. I can talk shit about other folks. I can talk about how some of y'all are raising your kids and all this other shit. Since y'all want to say I'm raising a modern woman just to insult me or whatever, or insult the way I do things, motherfucker. Shoot. But you feel funny coming over. Oh, you feel funny, Niggas, started talking about old boy the plumber. How the plumber should not have been arguing with women. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, grow a fucking spine, man. Damn. You can tell people how you feel. I mean, it doesn't matter, man. Shit. This is why you guys do so poorly with women. Oh yeah. Some of y'all sitting up here talking about I'm Mac Father Supreme or whatever. No. Nigga, you whack in real life. Shit. Then when I say real life, I'm talking about away from YouTube. People can be anything they want to be on YouTube. Let me see if I can play some. What should I play tonight? I'll play Cain and Abel. Usually only play Cain and Abel during the smoke show. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Okay. I gotta ask you, mention your daughter. So I can avoid it. Well, I mean, I'm not trying to, tell people who to watch. Like, some of these folks around here, like the Baconator, who try to be like, "I'm gonna look at you side if you watch that guy, whatever," trying to snotting and crying all over him. So you watch Kev, I ain't doing that. But I just say I had an issue with Uncut Underground about a couple weeks back, and I gave him the victory. I was like, "Look, guy, you won." And the only reason why I told him he won is because I crashed out. And usually when a person crashes out, they lose. And I sat up there and expressed myself on that show a couple weeks ago. My voice was gone. I should have never went on the air, but I was like, "No, nigga, you mentioned in a way I don't like people mentioning my family because that's a tactic people use, every time they disagree with me or Every time I start getting in a motherfucker's ass and shit, oh, your daughter, oh, your daughter, oh, yeah. Which, makes me sick of this community anyway. And, you wonder why so many things happen to children around here. Listen to the way these motherfuckers talk up here on this damn platforms, these social media platforms. Second they get pissed off with you, they start to attack your family. Oh, it's and I wouldn't say this Uncut Underground necessarily attacked my family. I'm just saying he just mentioned some shit that wasn't any of his business. But since I crashed out, but you don't have to avoid them, man. Like, you ain't got to avoid any of these content creators. Sometimes I want y'all to listen to these content creators so y'all can see how remedial some of these motherfuckers sound. And that's not just Uncut Underground. It's any of these motherfuckers. That's any of them. Niggas want to be special. They want to sit up there and say, oh, he was talking about me. He made a whole stream about me. No, you were just a little bit of that stream. I'm speaking in general. People want to be so special to me, it's ridiculous. Yeah. They called him sassy. Yeah, they called the plumber sassy because, you want to damn disrespect and be condescending to the man and he wouldn't let you. So when he responds how he was responded to, oh, all of a sudden he's sassy. Well, so what's the opposite of that? Bowing down, not saying anything, being polite to some rude motherfuckers. I'd have did the same thing. Get your hairy arm ass out my face. Looking like a Sasquatch by the fucking armpits. Get the fuck up out of here with that. Shoot. Yeah. Hybrid, that's a new word they're using. Wearing it out and all sassy. Using it wrong and all sassy. Yeah, we're sassy now. If you say something to a woman that disagree with you or disrespecting you, you're sassy. Always trying to undermine your manhood. And for some reason, more of these dudes that they raised without a daddy, them the sassy niggas right there. Saying motherfucker talking about somebody's child on fucking YouTube. No, I ain't with that shit. I wouldn't say talking about, well, he did say that I was raising a modern woman. So yeah, that was about my child, but I would say that was more about me and the way I did things. But still though, man, it ain't none of your goddamn business what goes on in my house. It ain't like I wouldn't, my daughter was helping me cook the food today for Juneteenth. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like I was coming on YouTube saying that, or I cut the grass so my daughter can have a clean yard to play in. Like I ain't say all that stuff, but I did all that shit today. Who cares about my fucking home life? You know what I'm saying? Who cares about that? Who cares about what goes on in my house for real? Except for if something bad happened, or if there's something that's drag worthy, then that's when you motherfuckers care. So, shoot. But like I said, I gotta be perfect. I gotta be perfect or else they don't know what a man is or sounds like. No, they don't. Like I said, when they raise a son and that motherfucker turn out shitty, somehow it's the fault of men like me instead of them taking accountability for it. Oh, but what's accountability? Ooh. Nobody likes that word. Nobody likes facts. Nobody likes accountability. Okay, so yeah, I had a few dudes talk about my relationship with my child, but I could care less what randos who don't know shit about me say. Yeah, man, but like some of these dudes up here, they just as messy as women. Some of them are messier than women. And although we have some real men that are on these panels, in these YouTube channels, in these chats. I mean, there's a lot of messy ass dudes too. I've worked with messy ass dudes that gossip more than women do. And I mean, like, well, here's one thing that's wrong though. We always entitle to women. We never give men their right to do whatever. We always entitle to women. We always give women more power. So, that's problematic right there. Yeah. They want black men to bow down, then expect masculine black men to protect them and have a heart to fight for them. No, you can't hate picking any two. No, you can't. Don't forget, Kel, they hate stats too. Yeah, anything that they can't argue against, they hate. They want to have this opinion about you. Okay, but and then it's like, but if it's true, because we talk about misinformation. I mean, well, they use that little crafty word that Lucas uses, weaponizing stats. Yes, like I'm trying to use these stats to make you feel so ashamed that you might do something to harm yourself. Like these motherfuckers, I swear. What is that? What is? I'm trying to figure out what your avatar is. Look like it's from a. Look like it might be from an anime. Like that's a skull. Yeah, I see it's a skull. So, oh, okay. Skull with like white smoke coming out of it, like it's attached to an anime character. Because we love anime cartoons around here. Well, animated features or Japanese, whatever. Uh, but polite as fuck. If you saw, yeah, yeah, these niggas ain't about their life, man. They talk all that disrespectful shit. But if you see them in the street, or there's one instance that I told y'all about a while back. Like you find out a motherfucker stay in the same city, all of a sudden they all tame and shit. Because they don't know what the motherfucker on the other end is about. Like I'll be there in 30 minutes. Oh well, no, man. I thought you was talking about this evening. No, nigga. All right, you'll pussy. Don't ever waste my time again. Under been through the gates of hell and Call of Duty. Shit's nothing to him. Shit. So I Call of Duty. I don't protect baby killers. I should not allow them to talk to me any way they want. Yeah. Yeah. All that gaslighting. Once you say something back, hey man, look, hey Kev, why you being so sensitive, man? I say you just spent a time talking about me. Man, why you being stop being so sensitive and thin skinned. Oh, so me responding is being thin skinned. But if I don't respond, I'm a pussy. You dumbass. Well, let's get back to this censorship thing, man. No, I don't believe in censoring people. Even the people I don't like. Some of y'all, and let's face it, some people are in league with people that want to censor you because they are jealous of the other content creator. The content creator that's able to do numbers, the content creator that is able to pull a little bit of money out of here. And, I mean, I don't pull the most money of any content creator, but I'm grateful for everything that I get. But I do understand with the little money I get, there's going to be a lot of content creators that are jealous of that as well. You know what I'm saying? So if you ever become a content creator and you start to get a little money, even if it's like $2 or $3, man, them motherfuckers gonna hate you for it. They're gonna hate you for it. They're gonna say you shouldn't be here. You don't belong up here with us. I mean, hell, if the people watching and the people sub think I belong here, then I must belong here. Don't let me start determining who should be here and who should not be here, because I'll make a strong ass case for it. But there's some people that can be here if they want to. I am way less threatened by Maggie Thompson than a lot of black folks in this space now. I mean, seriously. And it's a shame that I have to say it that way, but it is what it is. It is what it is, man. I mean, it's a shame that I have to worry about my people as opposed to white people. Because I'm like I'm saying, white people say little fickle racist shit, and I'm not saying that Maggie Thompson will do that. Because I haven't heard her say anything. But I mean, and I kind of understand where people are coming from with Pearl. But with these people, why not support the black man content creator? Why not support the black content creator instead of complaining about, who's on whose channel or whatever? You know what I'm saying? And I get it. Everybody plays that game because it speaks to the credibility of the content creator itself. If you have certain people on your channel you roll with, and they're about this censorship, then you know what I'm saying? That says a lot about you. There's a lot of guys in this space that believe in that censorship because they figure if they get rid of some content creators, then all those live viewers will flock to them. No, that ain't the case, bro. You got to keep it as 100, and no pun intended. You got to keep it as 100 as possible with these motherfuckers. Let's see. Oh, you're saying Revelator say actually it's Banshee as Vox Ignis, the spirit of variance from the X-Men. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. Hypercatastrophic impact X83rd power says most of them have a badge where their heart should be. Ooh. Yeah. Sad but true. Their wounds are a graveyard. Yeah. Oh. Their wounds is a place where fetuses go to die. And ain't nobody supposed to say nothing about that. Their wounds are taking more souls than Braveheart and Troy combined. Yeah, their wounds are taking more souls than Superhead. Soul Snatch. Jesus. All right, let me drop this link, see if anybody want to come up. Shoot. I mean, I really didn't have much to say tonight. Like I said, I could have reacted to Tariq and Sneeko and all them other people. People wearing that shit the fuck out. You know, but I should have did it just for algorithm purposes. You know what I'm saying? For a content strategy. Andre, I highly recommend Max Steel. What Max Steel? Like what? A cartoon Max Steel? Shoot. Let me see. Let's see what my likes at, because it's 30 likes. It was 34 you in here at one point. Shoot, just continue to hit that like button. Oh, I've increased to 5 dislikes. 23 likes though. Yeah. Yeah, I do have hate watchers. I do have people who want to press dislike every time I hit there. I bet you one of them is that heavy from the fat girl. Oh, she can't stand me. I mean, you know, when somebody tags you 10 times in the past 2 weeks, Mr. Suge to you, what's good? Oh yeah, shout out to the people in the clouds. Shout out to you guys. You make the difference too. Yeah, but that heavy from the fat person, like, tag me 10 times. 10 times. One time of each appendage on this hand right here. 10 times. Try to tell me some stuff. Just because got mad just because hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power said he learns from this channel. And then gonna tag me talking about, oh, you can learn from this guy right here. No, bitch. No, I'm good. I'm good. You know, don't be trying to tag me to a video with a simp on it. Them simps are deplorable. They are deplorable human beings. You know, who have no wherewithal or really any kind of self-respect. And self-respect is very, very important. You know, if you don't have no self-respect, what the fuck do you have? Shoot. So, all right, I did drop that link. So, you can come up or you cannot come up. Like I said, that link is for, and like I said, this link is for anyone. I guess I better cam down so I can be less intimidating. Okay, is that better for you folks? Is that better for you folks if I cam down? You know? Yeah, I put the guns away. So it's okay. Yeah. Nah, fuck that. So, it's almost been an hour. We got 27 in the building. Yeah, I've been like, yeah. You know, I'm not like the others, man. You know, I can't, for some reason, I guess because I'm not perfect, I can't keep too much of an audience. But I keep the ones around that matters. I do. So, let me see. Like I said, if you don't like what you see on this channel, you know where the door is. You most certainly do. Yeah, I went to somebody's chat like the other day, and they was like, "Oh, look, it's Crash Out Kev." I was like, I laughed at that shit myself. I was like, yeah, well, you know, like I said, I probably deserved that because I crashed out. So I'm looking at my YouTube feed right now. Who do I have as competition? Oh, Mr. Fantastic is on. Shout out to Mr. Fantastic. Oh, Edward Anderson is on. Shout out to Edward Anderson. You know. Q Butter. All right. Shout out to Q Butter. Why am I seeing people that the People's Podcast TV? Like, I ain't never seen this motherfucker. Why am I getting people in my algorithm I ain't never seen before? Shoot. All right, so man, all right. AK Nation News. That dude going every day. Like he's one of the most consistent ones. Mark Nash TV. All righty. Shout out to Mark Nash. Oh, Jason Black is on. Grinch was live too. Grinch was live. I don't think he's live anymore. Shout out to Grinch. All right. So that's my competition tonight. Those are the people that I have to overtake eventually. You know, and they're incumbents, so that's gonna be a little tough. You know. Yeah, so yeah. Yeah, but that goes back to what I say, I gotta be perfect. The AK Nation News, man, that be some brutal shit, LOL. Yeah, because Weather, who I haven't seen in a while. Yeah, Weather, who I haven't seen in a while, said that he implied that AK Nation News was more brutal than I was. And you know what? Maybe I should, if that's the case, if there's somebody that's more brutal than I am, then hey, maybe I should change the name to Black Man kind of telling the truth a little bit.
Black man being moderately honest.
Yeah, moderate with that shit. You know what I'm saying? They say LOL, crash out, kill. I fuck with it. Yeah, but what's good, Andre? Mr. 420.
Yeah, I was asking you in the chat earlier. Did you get a chance to see Bad Boys?
Who?
You get a chance to see Bad Boys for it?
Yeah, I saw that last week.
Yeah, I just seen that last night. Like that shit was fire.
Oh yeah. I thought that like I thought it was great the way they kind of switched Martin and Will's role. Like you know, Martin usually is Will is usually the action junkie. I mean, spoilers for anybody who hasn't watched the movie yet. That Will is usually the action junkie. Is Martin the one that's always trying to get him to pull back, and then they kind of switched him up a little bit. You know, and it was funny as shit.
Yeah, it really was. And fucking even fucking like Reggie when he popped off, I was like, damn.
Oh yeah, Reggie is him. That's all I'm gonna say. He's probably the character out of all four films that has the best character development. I mean, went from a timid teenager to a fucking killing machine. Like,
yeah, I'm not gonna spoil the movie. Like the end of the movie, that shit was hilarious.
Oh yeah, it was hilarious too. But yeah. All right, the choice is yours. He said, "Where's your friend Gabe now? No offense to you, just making an observation that he is missing. I have a feeling Gabe won't be back. So I'm gonna give you this one right here. Thank you for the super chat. All right. Yeah, thank you. Our choice is yours. Yeah. Yeah, black men being somewhat honest. Yeah. Because people don't feel like I've been brutal enough. So if I were to get really brutal, I mean, that would probably, I don't know. Am I getting old? Am I becoming like the old nigga for real? Like, you know, has having a daughter affect my psyche? Like what? I mean, I can be brutal, but at the same time, it's like, shoot. So Andre, give me something to be brutal about real quick. Let's see if this brutal thing can work. Since I ain't been brutal.
Let's see here. I mean, this whole conversation about this May shit going on.
May?
I mean, claiming to be an activist, yet you're doing all this.
There ain't no fucking activist, and you know, and for what it's worth, is an insult to people who are actually activists that have done some good in their respective groups. Like, and I would consider an activist Martin Luther King Jr. I would consider an activist Medgar Evers. I would consider an activist Viola Gregg Lazo, Dr. Ralph Abernathy, Andrew Young, guys like that. I would even say John Lewis is more of an activist. I mean, I mean, even though I don't agree with the defeated niggle babble from John Lewis toward the end of his life, you know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, probably that. Who knows? But um, I mean, I consider that, but I also consider May something else. I mean, butt hurt. Your butt hurt because, like, in that whole stream that she was talking about, like, she mentioned people who were sort of pro black man, and then she was calling it hate speech. She didn't mention divestors. She didn't mention any of these sisterhood bitches that, black men this, black men that. And then, for some reason the sisterhood act like they don't know who Cynthia G is, and they all know who Cynthia G is. The choices y'all says, May, thanks for the super chat. Said May is a self-styled Black Lives Matter type activist that colluded with I think you mean divestors and tethers to cause the space to get associated with fringe far-right violent extremists. She be collaborating with the COONs. That's what I think you meant. So let me find a video for you. Let me see. Okay, we'll do half baked.
Because I'm addicted to marijuana.
Hell no. You in here for some marijuana? Man, this is some bullshit.
All right. Thank you for the super chat again. And shoot, don't let the choices y'all be by himself. I mean, there's a super chat down there, and there's the Cash App. Support the channel. Help me continue this brutal honesty. But it does get a little tiresome. I make one mistake and people are gone, while people get to make so many mistakes. I feel like an actual black business in the black community, because because like when a black business makes a mistake in the black community, they are automatically labeled a black business, and then people don't want these black businesses and stuff. Like, there's a mom and pop's restaurant that's a black business that the food comes out lukewarm. All of a sudden, you don't want to go to that business anymore. But you can go to Olive Garden repeatedly. Olive Garden, they serve the lasagna was nasty, but I'm gonna go back there. So I mean, like I said, it does get a little tiresome a little bit. But hey, with a little bit more consistency on my part, I can find some real ones like you guys. Like seriously, Mr. Shook, you said, is it just me or does it seem like many men have more girls and the rest of aggressive chicks have tons of boys? I don't know. I'm an example. I have a daughter. Therefore, Andre has a daughter too. RPM has a daughter. Shoot, I've noticed that manly men have girls more, but the aggressive, rational chick have tons of boys. Okay, you said it again. Because I'm addicted to marijuana. Yeah, I haven't smoked. Shoot, I haven't smoked in over a week. I mean, shit. I mean, when old boy, mentioned my daughter, and the way I raised her, shit, I had to go get me something then. But I haven't smoked. I'm trying to just kind of take it light a little bit, try to get some things done. But you know what I'm saying. As soon as I get in my position, I'm gonna be back to chiefing. Y'all best believe that. But if Mr. Shoot, if that's true, yeah, then I guess we're manly men for having daughters. So I take that as a compliment. But go ahead, Andre.
I haven't smoked since like the last stream, and I was just gonna check over, but I might smoke tomorrow. So I got some plans for tomorrow. But
I mean, if you don't have to stop smoking, then don't. That's my suggestion.
No, I do, because I'm looking at getting a different job. So and I'm gonna get drug tested. So yeah, I'm gonna have to stop.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're gonna drug test. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, if you notice, there goes Salty. What's good, Mr. Salty? Salty Balls.
What's good, brother?
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah. So what's going on? What's the good word?
It's a lot of intrigue, weirdos, trolls, those sorts of things going around. I noticed a comment or something like that in your in your no, at Keep It 100's channel by somebody named Shooting Star 2001.
Yeah. What about
Okay. Don't take that personal, because that particular person came in on Tito's broadcast and lied on me, just
it?
to stir up chaos. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the chaos maker. You know what I mean? You got people that have been rocking with you. They've been rocking with you, and that's it. We all make mistakes and stuff like that. But I think for the most part, yeah. See, you already had it up or not?
Yeah, I had it. I mean, I saw it.
Yeah, that person came into a live and actually, was trying to wreak havoc in there. They straight up lied on me, and everybody was like, "Use a effing lie," because that's something that would not ever be in my character. What they were trying to lie on. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's hilarious. So that person is a chaos maker. On my channel, man, the last couple of lives I did stuff about, social movements and the nature of them, and how people try to co-opt the nature of the social movement with planned opposition, games, intrigue, paranoia and stuff like that. Because if we're quote unquote moving the needle like people say we are, right? Politics is about who gets what, where, when, and how. And to a certain extent, it is a zero-sum game, because if we were to make gains, it's gonna take away obviously from somebody else, right? And so what people are doing is causing chaos, while they can. Now, supposedly, you got to think about it. This whole collaboration with all these people, you seem to ignore the sort of digesters, you ignore the you ignore the rhetoric that the pro wax say, and all this other stuff to quiet black men. I mean, think about all that. You know what I mean? This is most definitely a coordinated effort. Now, if you were to go back over to, let's say, was it 6 months ago, over at Kimberly Nicole Foster's channel, when Obsidian departed from the space, guess what names you'll see? You'll see some of the same names there. And so, I would say this. I would say, yes, you're going to see a lot of BS, being a content creator. It took me a second to kind of see that myself, to tell you the truth, while you're doing your thing. But, sifting and filtering through that as far as what's a nothing burger and what could be valid and true to kind of follow up on. Because just like there's only so much time that you have in a day, there's other people out here watching. There's brethren watching on your behalf. And they may be trying to do things to actually prevent you from walking into a trap. That's at least my take.
Oh, okay.
Well,
it's basically I'm not sure if you caught that whole stream earlier, like over on who's stream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at the end of it, she said she was a troll, and that's the exact same thing that Bobby said. That he was also a troll.
Yeah. To call herself a troll, talking about she trolls with questions. Oh, you're just, I don't know, man, about grown up people calling themselves trolls. If you mean what you say, stand on it. Don't call yourself a troll when you get caught. I mean that's not a cool thing. But
that's what I've been saying. This is why, like I've been saying, I don't take offense to these kind of people, because I've seen trolls. Just like, I'm from the gaming community, so I've seen a lot of trolls. I've seen people and heard people say all kinds of shit, and it doesn't bother me, because I know that, like, they're not fucking serious about shit. Like, I say that I troll certain people, but I'm not a troll.
Well, can I beg a question, even with a more critical lens, right?
Go ahead.
when people, okay, so I can understand the sort of resounding view of not necessarily wanting to have a channel or a place where people are an echo chamber. Okay. I am a believer in deliberative debate, discussion, sifting out, what will be optimal, because that's how ideas rise to the top, right? But for the most part, if we're generally on the same team here as brethren, and we hear or we see behavior that is antithetical to the sort of progress of black men, like causing chaos, arguments, game playing, having people with wrenches on the channel who causes more chaos than it does, good. And then, trolls will attach themselves to targets of credibility just so that they can try to discredit the movement and let things kind of dissipate. These are some of the tactics that are used, and these were the tactics that were used against our brethren back in the 60s. You know what I mean? It's just a digital way of doing it, right? You would have people with these wrenches and stuff like that, censoring guys, stopping, somebody could be trying to warn you about something and you got people blocking them or timing them out and things like that. Right?
Well, actually, now that you said that, like, I can't say this for sure, but at one point I did see fucking Gababe block somebody in the chat before, and I called him out in the chat, and then like, dude was fucking talking shit in the chat and was saying that I didn't see what I see, and even though like I literally had it on my screen. I'm not sure if it was like the dude like that popped up like from one of your last streams, Kev, but yeah, I did bring this up because it literally said like who did it, right?
Oh, I wasn't watching the chat at the time. I mean,
yeah, it literally said like who blocked the dude, and it literally said it was him, and he was arguing with me that it wasn't him. I'm just like, bro, I can see it on my screen.
Okay, but some of these folks have been taken care of anyway. I mean, I still got, I'm checking my block list right now, and there's nobody that I didn't put there or didn't say put there, but except for that Jess chick, who's one that attacked your child. So, I lost a sub too. See, so it's whatever. It's all good. So
I wouldn't take it personal. I wouldn't take it personal because it could very well be saying that the trolls have no shelter here. You know what I mean? Right?
No, they don't. No, trolls, people who want to censor people. No, I mean, because like the people currently have wrenches right now, they don't flex that. They don't try to do the little power trips and nothing like that. They're pretty much cool. And I mean, they only censor the people who are really crazy or the people who are trying to purposely spam the chat with nonsense like porno or say some crazy shit like. And I mean, I'm good with that. I mean, but like I said, if people want to unsub, go right the fuck ahead. I'm against YouTube and I'm against dumb motherfuckers. Not dumb, but people like that. So I mean, it is what it is. I know I'm going to be faced with certain challenges when I come up here.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, some people will double down. Some people will quote unquote, spaz out with their ego and stuff like that. End up like Denzel in that damn final scene of Training Day. Mm-hmm. But we're all men here. Iron sharpens iron, and to me, this actually makes me respect you even more so by saying, you know what, I tried my best here. You know what I mean? It was some slight oversight, and you just move forward, man. You're a good guy, Kev. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean? And you see nobody's really saying anything against you at all, but there's people out there who are just kind of maintaining like, oh no, I'm just gonna double down with this. And it's like, come on now, you have these guys out here, they may be subscribers for years, they've been consistent, they've been supporters, they've been watching the content and stuff like that. And all of a sudden we see, these new folks coming in, you know what I mean? They're trolling, they shutting people up, they're disrespecting the chat and, ingratiating and aggrandizing themselves to the content creator of Target. And it's almost like, gee, this person may not necessarily see all of what we see sitting in the seat and seeing the sort of danger that's happening, and people be trying to warn and warn and warn and warn, you know what I mean? But it's here to disrupt and stuff like that. But the good thing about it is, us as Black men could, focus on bigger and better things, like developing themselves, considering, tech and opportunity, politics, and other things like that. Because if you burn two ends of the candlestick at work, or the guy who has that, that yapping mouth at home, where do you take refuge to if you come on here and you can't even, sit in a virtual den with your brethren and there's bullshit here? I digress, though.
Yeah, I feel you on that, man. And one thing I will continue to do is I will continue to do content, and I will continue to build. Whereas people decide to leave and say, I don't want to fool with Kale no more. For every one person that's like that, there are going to be 5 to 10 people to replace that person. I just gotta work hard and be consistent and find those people. And yeah, I got 41 in the building, so make sure you're pressing like on the way in, please. Yeah, and then, we got Cash App, Super Chat, for those of you, please support the channel. Regardless, I will continue to do the work here to continue to reinforce the Black man's position as far as our place in the media, because it is very well needed. And, and a lot of people say this, if they're not people that's hating, then, you're not. If people are hating, then you're obviously doing something right. So I must be doing some right stuff. I mean, shoot, they hating on Salty Balls, so he must be doing something right as well. They hate on Andre. They hate on the Black manosphere. So, I mean, we need to continue to keep it up. So.
Yeah, sometimes I would come back after the replay and hear that my name was mentioned, and you see my point, like, and you see, I don't care because I don't care because I could determine my own means of self-determination. My fate. You got some other people who would you say, they're would you say they still on a plantation, some shape, form, fashion, or another. And I do what I do to support, Black men and their voices and things like that, So of course, you know what I mean. You're gonna have people with their own animosity, and that's on them. That's on them. By the way, I did share your show on my community tab, man.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been using that commercial too, man. So.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I used that at the beginning of the stream. Let me use it again real quick. So, just a break for just a moment. Check this out, everybody.
Welcome to Machismo TV, the ultimate destination for modern men seeking to upgrade their lifestyle. Subscribe to Machismo TV and Saul T-Balls. We stream daily from 12 midnight to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the best male-centric content. Highlight reels without reviewing or providing any editorial bias to the content. We have done so much, with so little for so long, we are now qualified to do anything, with nothing.
Yeah. So who's the editor? Who edits those videos?
I'm gonna say this much. I don't want to divulge too much, but let's say that we have a really, really talented team in back end.
Yeah. Because I can tell that looks really professional.
Yeah, yeah.
But I understand you don't want to give away trade secrets.
Yeah.
But yeah, with me and the videos I edit, I do it all on my own. Like, you know, for those of you who've seen my edited content, I do all of that stuff. I mean, I don't have a team yet. If I get big enough, I might need a team one day. But you know, it's something I have fun with, and it's something I have fulfillment with. Because when somebody says, "Hey, Kel, that's a real good video," you know, who does your editing? You know, I pat myself on the back. Well, like, you know, but yeah.
But I can say it is done all in house.
Oh, okay.
And it is black men. All.
Hey man, LaShawn said edit was perfect, like Mortal Kombat. Like Mortal Kombat. Okay, if Mortal Kombat is perfect, then hey. Yeah. But what do you think of the censorship that people are trying to do? I mean, I understand that it's something that's always existed. Like, you know, that adpocalypse wave back in like 2016, 2017, where a lot of black men channels got knocked down, you know, taken out of YouTube. That's when Tommy got censored. Like all his channels got knocked down. Because I think I remember that was like 2016, I believe. And it turns out that there was a list that a group of, I guess, women, divestors, sisterhood put out. Oh, these are channels we got to knock down. And there's a lot of content creators that are currently here that were on that list. You know, some of the content creators changed their rhetoric. They became sort of anti-black man. They became sort of HNIC like you know, he tried to do the HNIC thing. You know, and they really departed from their original message. And my thing is, I can't ever depart from my original message because, you know, as a black man, you're a target anyway. So right now they're trying to do this same shit again. And it's like, what I would like is for black men to not feel helpless with this, and you know, just stand up for your motherfucking self. Stand up for yourself. What's wrong with standing up for yourself? I mean, you know, why is it that they get to do this, but we don't have, but we can't fortify our space and protect it? You know, instead of that, people run scared, and it's just sad to see.
Well, to bring it back to like that conversation about that dude on that show. First of all, I would say like he should have never been on that show, but he wasn't wrong for saying what he said, right? Because if they're saying some goofy shit to him, like he had every right to respond, and he wasn't even being disrespectful. Like he was there calling them queens and being all nice and shit. They still took offense to that.
Okay. Okay. Salty, you wanted me to play this?
Okay, so I'll give you a little prelude. Okay, so as me and Machismo TV in collaboration with the Fly Guy, let's just call him that. Okay, you know that diverting hate report where they ranked up all the different content creators.
Yeah.
When it came to the space or whatnot, and you know, it came out with the whole male supremacy and all that other crap and this, that, and the other. Okay. Well, right now we actually have some people in the federal government who has a special committee on investigating big tech right now and censorship when it actually comes to free speech and or political discussion right now. And so that video that I just sent you on the back end actually is that special committee, and actually gives a sort of intro to what they're doing. They even sponsor what they call an HR 8519 for those people who want this sort of content to continue to be out here without big tech interfering. There's a bill right now on the floor to prevent censorship of people on social media right now. And so that video actually speaks to that. That's actually a opening statement from the committee chair, Jim Jordan. Okay. And I think it will be really, really insightful to, you know, actually to actually show how not only in this space, us as black men are being censored, there's a whole bunch of other people being censored, you know, who are actually speaking about, you know, their kids being predisposed to adult topics. Hopefully people can kind of read in between the lines there, right? Onto, you know, their sort of, you know, attitudes when it comes to, you know, any sort of American traditionalism, you know what I mean? Like family, or, you know, not all that weirdo stuff. I'm gonna just say that much, you know what I mean? But that video actually speaks to that. If you really want to know, it's a bigger piece. So when you're vying for power and you're fighting for power, I would say the war gets the most intense when you actually have your enemies against the wall, and this right here is the fruit of it.
Oh, okay.
But since it's public, that's public resource there. You might not get a copyright because it's public. But if you want to pay it faster, I don't blame you. But that's, you know, taxpayer stuff.
Man, I don't think they'll copyright this. I mean, yeah. So, you know, if you don't mind, you know, well, it's my channel, so I'm gonna go ahead and play it. You said this is about 5-6 minutes.
Yeah, about 5 minutes, from 24:49 to about 30 minutes into it.
At 24:49. Okay. All right, there's Mr. Jordan right there. So, okay. Well, let's see what they're talking about then. Hold on, let me stop this music real quick. So, all right. So, all right, here y'all go. Let's see what they're talking about.
Ooh, can't hear it.
Yeah, I still can't hear it.
So y'all can't hear it?
No, we
Yeah, I
can't hear it.
Okay. What about the chat? Oh shoot. Let me see. How do I increase the volume on this one? Hold on. I don't know if I can increase the volume through StreamYard. I tried to play it up as much as I can. I mean, I can hear it. Let me see. No. Well, yeah. Well, let me put some subtitles on it. I mean, but it said no volume. Okay, let me. Okay. Damn. Stop screen. Let me try this again.
Well, I hope you guys vote against this shit, because censorship is not okay.
Oh, well, they're putting the bill out there to stop the censorship.
Yeah, stop the censorship.
Yeah, to make it illegal.
Yeah, because people are, you know, people are butthurt as fuck right now, and I mean, just oh shit. Oh, hold up. Thank you very much for the super chat. I'll give you a couple videos for that before I attempt to play this again. But what I'll do is, if I can't get it to make any sound, I will just put it in the in the description.
Okay. All right.
Or pin the comment or something, because you know we need for people to hear this. So let me play this. Let me play this video of this little girl who looked like she just cashed her McDonald's paycheck.
No time to be arguing, no money. No time to be arguing, period. You hoes don't get that from me at all. Fuck all shit. Go get some money. You hoes do this, not much of this. Go get some money. Fuck around with you, broke asshole.
Okay.
Let me get Wacky D up here too. Okay. Yeah. Well. Yeah. And I guess I'll do Mike Tyson also, since it was such a generous donation.
They have nothing to do with it. They're just innocent people.
I gotta get better videos, but that's what I got now. So yeah, let me try this again. If y'all can't hear it, like I said, I just put the link in the chat. I mean, I just put well, go ahead and put the link in the chat anyway. But
okay.
Let me do this. He said it's from 24:49 to like minute 30 in some seconds. But let me see. Okay, I'm gonna play it again.
quote, borderline content, which is content, speech that doesn't violate YouTube's policies. Just content and speech that they didn't like, didn't agree with their narrative. Both Facebook and YouTube caved to the White House pressure because they knew they had.
You still can't hear it?
No, I can hear it.
You can hear it? Okay.
Yeah, we can give it a start at 24:49.
Yeah, let's see. 24:49. Let's see. Okay. All right.
Then it was YouTube. Biden White House said, why aren't you guys at YouTube taking down more, quote, borderline content, which is content, speech that doesn't violate YouTube's policies. Just content and speech that they didn't like, didn't agree with their narrative. Both Facebook and YouTube caved to the White House pressure because they knew they had to keep good relationships with the White House for important policy decisions. We call that coercion. Then we learned how they all teamed up, big government, big tech, big academia, working together to censor Americans in the lead up to the 2020 election through the Election Integrity Partnership and the Virality Project. This partnership, created at the request of the federal government, sent thousands of links directly to big tech to be censored. True information was targeted. Jokes weren't safe either. Even members of this committee were targeted. Congressman Massey, we've discussed that throughout this Congress in several different hearings. And it wasn't just conservatives. It was mostly conservatives, but it wasn't just conservatives. And yesterday we shared what we've uncovered about the White House pressuring Amazon. Internal Amazon emails are unbelievable. It says, think about this one. Is the administration asking us, we put this out in a Twitter thread yesterday, is the administration asking us, Amazon, asking us to remove books, or are they more concerned about search results, or both? Stop and think about it. Government pressuring Amazon to ban books. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all this big combination impact election, and now we find the same thing was happening, the same dynamic was happening at Amazon. Today's hearing, how the government is trying to take censorship to the next level by weaponizing artificial intelligence tools to limit speech in real time and at scale. In the name of combating alleged misinformation regarding COVID-19 in the 2020 election, the National Science Foundation has been issuing multi-million-dollar grants to universities and nonprofit research teams to develop artificial intelligence-powered censorship and propaganda tools. These tools can be used by government and big tech to shape public opinion by restricting certain viewpoints and promoting others. In notes from the University of Michigan's first presentation to the National Science Foundation about its NSF-funded AI-powered, called WiseDex tool, they said this, quote, this is when the University of Michigan is making their pitch to the government to get taxpayer money. They said, our misinformation service helps policymakers at platforms who want to push responsibility for difficult judgment to someone outside the company by externalizing the difficult responsibility of censorship. Think about that last phrase, by externalizing the difficult responsibility of censorship. They said right up front what they want to do. They want taxpayer money come to them so they can develop tools with AI to censor American speech. I don't know if it gets much scarier than that. Non-public documents obtained by the Select Committee reveal the disinformation researchers referring to their work as, quote, censorship in the slides they presented to the National Science Foundation. The National Science Foundation tracked reporting critical of its program, including an article written by Professor Jonathan Turley and by Ms. Richardson, one of our witnesses today. And they developed a specific media strategy they considered blacklisting, and they considered blacklisting conservative media. In one project proposal, document to the National Science Foundation, the researchers explained the need for a, quote, proactive suite of human technologies to assist rural and indigenous communities, military veterans, older adults, and military families, all of whom the researchers claimed were unusually susceptible to misinformation campaigns online. I want you to digest that for a second. If you're an older American, you served in our military, and you live out in flyover country, you're too stupid to know what's true. And these guys wanted their tax money, our tax money, the very people they described, they took their tax money to develop tools to censor the people that they took the tax money from. Another project proposal sent to the National Science Foundation demeans Americans who hold, quote, the Bible and the Constitution as sacred and choose to review primary sources rather than rely on expert consensus. You think the Bible's sacred, you support the Constitution, and you review primary sources to think for yourself, you're the problem, according to the National Science Foundation. And they're going to give your tax dollars to entities developing software, developing this technology, this tool to censor your speech. One other proposal document said this: reactive content moderation is too slow and ineffective. And that's what this hearing's about. AI, which can censor in real time and at scale, should scare us all. The pattern we've seen emerging is deeply troubling. But for the work of this committee, we'd have never known about all the censorship going on. And now we're concerned, obviously, about how artificial intelligence can interact, can use these tools, develop these tools to censor and restrict American speech. I want to thank our witnesses for being here today. And with that, I would yield to the ranking member for an opening statement.
Okay. Big Kev.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I said, man, it's much bigger than this. And as you can see, the only way, if we're talking about brethren fighting back, right? We could do all this pontificating. We could do the sort of, run of the mill Friday night flyby, digital duke out. You know how a lot of guys do here, right? When it
Yeah.
comes to actionable steps in real life and real time, this is some of the stuff that, we actually need to have our brethren support. And
Yeah,
particularly,
absolutely.
reach out to their local House of Representatives, congressmen, and support 8519 to prevent this sort of censorship. So this is kind of like an offshoot of that. They're them paying tech companies to actually censor our freedom of speech. And then, of course, you have the sort of weird BLM type, garden variety folks, coupled with that, flagging people. That's the way to stop it. If people really want this content to exist 5 years from now, 10 years from now, where we can keep it kind of going, that's, this fight is actually being held now. And that was me showing that.
Okay, so it's you said it's HB 8519.
HR. Is it?
HR.
Let me see. Let me make sure I'm correct. 8519. Yep. Yeah.
HR 8519.
And so what they're doing is snatching away from universities and these clearinghouses and think tanks and all these activist groups their ability through federal funds to lie and actually create tools to stagnate free speech along with big tech using government funds to do so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's really problematic because it puts power in the hands of the wrong people in front of a bunch of butthurt folks just because they simply don't agree with you. They want you censored. They want you gone. And with Fly Guys content, and Keep It 100 exposes something like that. The voices of those guys and, guys such as myself and Salty and Machismo TV and even Andre 420, they're much needed around here. And if you want, like he was saying, if you want to see content like this, a month from now, a year, 5 years, 10 years, you'll support these kind of things because they're trying to put everything in an Orwellian state. And that is the very thing. That is the very thing that this country supposedly railed against. They build it on free speech. Now I know, and I do understand that free speech is something that does not exist on social media platforms standards, but because of laws and policies such as this that prevents people from going overboard and trying to silence you. So and I mean it's very interesting that they said he was speaking on the Biden administration, because these are the very people that black people support, and to try to say orange man bad and all this other shit, but these are the very people that are doing this shit.
Well, Kev, I have said this before. It's kind of like it's a great thing that Salty brought this up because I've said this before. Maybe like a couple months ago, this law that they're trying to pass over in the U.S. It's already been passed here, and the maximum is like fucking 14 years plus for hate speech online.
God damn, where is that?
I'm in Canada.
Oh, so but see, hate speech seemingly is very subjective at this point.
Exactly, that's the problem, and it's 14 years plus maximum. Like I could be wrong. I think it's up to life. I could be wrong, but like it's at least 14 years as the maximum. Yeah,
wow.
For hate
14
speech.
14 years. Because somebody may not like what you're saying online.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're turning.
So I hope you guys fucking don't let that shit pass, because like yeah, because basically it's like anything I say is like if people don't like it, like it can be considered hate speech.
Damn, we're turning into 1984 for real. And then they say it's to protect certain groups, but it's not to protect certain groups. It's to protect people's feelings. You
Yeah,
know?
because like even that that's why I've been saying like with that like that list that they came out with, like the top of the list was a Canadian dude. It's like white Canadian dude, but he's a MGTOW content creator.
Jeez, Jesus. Yeah, because when what's her name May was talking about in that video who she was trying to get, talking about she's trying to hit all kinds of hate speech, and you people need to go. The only content creator she was talking about was the ones that were pro black men. I mean, I don't know about DJ Torch, but she mentioned Chantel Simone, the Crimson Cure, Kevin Samuels. Like, Kevin Samuels is still on a lot of people's brain, and this man been dead for 2 years.
That's faux duplicitousness. That's just basically to say, oh, I covered my bases. Well, I did him too. No, the hell you didn't. That's a lie. You know what I'm saying? Right? And talking about Sinji and all these other people. No. We all know who the target was, and they're all black men. We know where all the time, energy, and resources was spent, doing so. So she's a liar, okay? Right? She doesn't have the same vitriol, for the divestors. She just don't. Let's just call it what it is. She's playing games. And there's no way to prove it. But the only thing that we do have proof of, for sure, is actually the email that Marcus received. And, once she actually, was caught pants down, figuratively, then all of a sudden it's this person and what I did and this and this and that. No. You know what I mean? She's been a mainstay of trolling around here. And you would, just as a brother, right? When you listen to the talking points and you look at the behaviors of individuals, and when their behaviors are antithetical to those talking points, like getting on a panel and only wanting to talk to the host, right? You'll see a lot of females do that so that there's some sort of emasculation of all the other guys on the panel, right? And that she doesn't have to wait her turn like everybody else, right? And then you see the brother on the panel being like, whoa, let the lady speak, No. You know what I mean? Like, if you or I were to even, even of a smidget, were to even show our sort of indication that we're black male in some of those other spaces, we'll be kicked the hell up out of there.
That's a great point, because it's like we're some of us will be so welcoming over here. We'll be so welcoming over here, and then we'll let them speak and we'll let them talk. And I've been guilty of that in the past too. No more of that shit. But then when we go over to their spaces and we say the slightest thing they disagree with, we are blocked. They don't let us speak. Fuck you, get out of here. So we should probably carry that, like I said a while back, we should be carrying a scorched earth policy. And, the best way for me to do that is to be a prime example of it. So all them people that believe in that censorship, screw you, do not come back. I mean, whatever. I mean, it is what it is at this point. We know how you feel about black men and our freedom of speech. So fuck you, basically. See, we're going to continue to get this word out here. We're going to continue to make brothers aware. Like, we've been through it. A lot of us been through it, and us making other brothers aware is just preventative maintenance. If you ain't, if you have gone through it, you ain't got to go through it.
Like Salty Balls brought up a great point, because I have experienced that before on certain platforms where I was told that I shouldn't respond to them because their intention was to talk to the host, even though they're talking shit to everybody.
Yeah,
I'll talk shit to everybody, but then when you respond, it's like, I'm not here to talk to you. I'm here to talk to the host.
Like that time Koja Malik came up here and then she tried to do Faulkner like that. Faulkner, who's up on this panel right now.
She didn't
Yeah.
like my response, did she?
No, she didn't like it.
Did I give
like
a damn?
No, not really.
You can censor me as much as you want, but last time I checked, I have almost a 25-year record of fighting against, people who want to undermine the First Amendment. So I look at these draconian laws, because that's what they basically are, and I'm like, you look at a person like me. Shout out to Marcus when he sent me part of the info on that. Have you noticed that they always want to take down black men content?
Mm-hmm.
They don't go after the white MGTOWs. They don't go after people who said abort black male babies. It's funny, an overwhelming majority of the content creators in this space are either married, in relationships, or have children. So we can't put the socially awkward stigma on us. You can't put a lot of these, oh, well, these are just jaded men. No. But this motherfucker just want to come out here because their feelings are hurt. They don't like what you say. There's a couple of people, content that I don't like. Guess what I'm going to do? Now watch it. Let it go.
Yeah, absolutely. Same thing I do.
Charles, you got to realize that your mama raised you different. And these women now is raising their sons different. That's what you got to realize. Mama raised you right, but they mama raising them wrong. And that's the only thing I can say to your point, because that's all I can say, because you is 100. I can't even argue with what you said. But your mama raised you different. And now you see how mama raised them now. And that's the problem. I'm sorry, sir. That's all I can say.
So did my dad. It might have been a difference too.
Well, I was going to say real quick. Just
go ahead.
Real quick. What May was saying on that stream, she said that she's an activist.
No, she's
not. The first cause that she named.
She doxed herself and gave up her government name. Yes, she is, bro. Yeah.
The first cause.
Sorry to interrupt you, Andre. My bad.
Don't have a dating show with red balloons, because she can be an activist, but
hey, one at a time. Hey, LaShawn. Come on, let Andre say.
I'm sorry. I'll just say he said your mama's an activist, but the dude can't red balloon.
Hold on, LaShawn.
That has nothing to do with the conversation, LaShawn. But real quick, she said she's an activist, and the first cause that she named was women's rights. And then she said she was advocating for black people after that. So you already know where she stands.
Your mama red balloon. Your mama red balloon, just like every woman red balloon. Don't say it doesn't equate to the subject, because your mama red balloon. A lot of dudes that
You gotta remember, she's a fembot. Okay. A lot of these womanist rights, especially if you're black and you believe in that shit, you motherfuckers gotta be some of the dumbest motherfuckers God ever laid eyes on. If you can't look at the historical evidence, the feminist movement, even when it was called the suffrage movement, how many times they gave you their ass to kiss and their pussies to wipe to black women? They just use you for the numbers. I'm going for women's rights. What rights does a woman not have? As a matter of fact, you probably have too many damn rights. If we want to talk about equality, why don't 50% of women pay child support? Why don't 50% of women dump trash? Hell, why don't all you bitches sign up for the draft.
They pop their red balloons, Charles. They pop their red balloons. That's the answer.
I mean, one thing about it is a lot of content creators are going to have that scorched earth policy when it comes to a lot of these broads. Every time you get a broad over here, and I understand, I do it sometimes, I give them a little leeway to speak, but I'm real quick to cut you the fuck off.
Well, Charles, much to that point, right? I think this could be an opportunity for people to kind of learn lessons from this and actually, come up with, some sort of, procedures of, more or less vetting and, that sort of thing. If we're talking about
your mama pop the red
hold
balloon,
on,
your
bro.
mama pop the red balloon.
Hey, you need to chill out,
calm
bro.
down.
Before you get roasted up here. Don't bring
Come on,
me this,
man.
bro. And I'm a calm bro. Chill
Come on, LaShawn, LaShawn,
let me kick off the panel. You're not relaxed that,
put
bro.
down the Anheuser-Busch, man. Put down the Anheuser.
It's not
I drink name brand beer, goddamn it, and I drink name brand liquor, and I smoke name brand goddamn cigars like you do,
Kevin,
Charles.
you got a bounty?
They mama pop the red balloon and they mad at me.
Get rid of
this. What's your price? I need to get him up out of here.
Hey, Cash App. You just Cash App, whatever.
Jesus Christ. Up out of here, bro.
Throw $20.
Go.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
Okay. Well,
so get your ass the fuck on.
Yeah.
Go ahead, salty balls.
Go ahead.
Yeah, there you go. Fuck out of here, man.
Yep, there you go.
This is chaos making.
Good night, LaShawn.
Why you mad at good men?
Goodbye, LaShawn. Take care.
I mean, okay.
Yeah, fuck out of here.
$50, you get dropped. Shit, for $50, you drop them, bring them back up, drop them, bring them back up, and drop them again. Finally.
No.
Nah, but this is and I don't know if it's the brother's intention. I'm gonna give him a little grace in that, but this is the kind of stuff we're talking about when we're talking about solutions and things like that and moving forward. We actually see these sorts of behaviors from people who are actual trolls. Now, much to LaShawn, he's generally had a good record, so I'm not gonna shit on a man like that. But this ain't the time and the place to be doing that shit. I'm just saying, just So I hope after the stream he don't have this damn vendetta against me. But right now, man, we can't be doing that shit.
He'll be all right. He'll be all right. But damn, that's all I got to do, man. Put a bounty on folks to make some money.
Might have to
get them the fuck up out of here.
Install distraction.
Yeah.
Well, Salty, I think LaShawn already forgot what happened.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's probably worth more than the damn beer he didn't. I don't know what the hell he's doing. Man. Look, he probably drinking that.
Talk about that Man Dog 2020.
Yeah, that old school, that Boone's, that Cisco, that I don't know. Look, that 1980s style, that malt.
Give me a Pabst Blue Ribbon and a Scotch.
Yeah, like damn. Okay, so what I was actually crafting out or asking, we can't sit up here and say or demand quote unquote equal rights in real life, but not demand equal rules of engagement when it comes to these ladies on the panel, right? Just like, you expect all the men to hold their own on the panel to, engage in deliberative debate and discussion and stuff like that. And, if I were to say something disrespectful to any of these guys up here, I could get it. Truthfully, I can get it, right? But sometimes what they'll do is they'll go to the host as a way out, and it demonstrates a sort of favoritism, the proxy violence, and even a sort of digital version of chivalry that they don't deserve, because 9 times out of 10, they don't even come with the sort of bona fide argument in the first place. It's a lot of time wasting. And then guess what? They go over somewhere else, right? They record the video and then they play it to other people like it's propaganda and say, look at how broken and stupid these black men are. look how easily we could slither in over there and cause a bunch of chaos. Especially if there's no sort of established rules of engagement. Something to think about.
Yeah, and really that hurts the channel itself, and it hurts the way that people look at the host, because the host tries to maintain decorum and all this, and it could be seen as, well, you letting these bitches up here, and they're just here to disrupt the channel, and you would then let them talk bullshit and all this other stuff, and really it may not be the intention of the host, but then at the same time, and I'm saying this for me too, like, we have to be aware of these things. Like, you're right. A lot of these women that will come on these panels and will come in these chats, they don't have any intention of having a civil conversation. They just want to disrupt the fucking place, and we should be more careful about that. And my thing is, like, to always let a motherfucker, let them hang themselves, give them the rope to hang themselves. But then, what is the point of even with that? Because if they treated us like we treated them, they wouldn't be trying to censor us and censor us and then block us and kick us off their panels and their channels. Because I mean, like, I remember like 4 years ago, I said like one thing in Cynthia G's chat, and I was blocked from that channel instantly. But how many black men have had Cynthia G on their shows and they just let her just speak all the way?
Too many. And I understand why they have certain women on there, because it might make more attractive to the channel. But let's be honest, some women should not even speak after a while, after the foolishness they've been doing on social media. Personally, in my opinion, you get me? But
yeah. I mean, Son is hot raw. And thank you for the super chat, by the way. He said we say this ain't an echo chamber. Well, maybe it needs to be at this point, because how can you fight fair with an enemy who's using every tool against you? I mean, well, which is cool. I mean, I try to establish this as not an echo chamber, but when their purpose is just to disrupt the conversation and carry it in other directions and, make us get flustered and lose control, then what's the goddamn point? I'm with a difference of opinion. I never have a problem with a difference of opinion. I mean, but as long as you can do it like in a civil manner and treat us like we treat you when you come to these shows, then I don't believe there's a problem. But at this point right now, fuck it. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, we're beyond that,
Yeah.
And I understand, I don't want to disturb you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, each channel, yes, indeed, has a different philosophy, and people have their independent, self-determined ways of how to conduct themselves. But when you have somebody who's up there, being disrespectful, they're detracting the conversation. They're using too much airtime when it comes to the discussion, and people see this. It's like you're on a panel, right? And it may be one or two women, right? And then you're seeing that this host is being more deferential to, somebody who's disingenuous in the first place. You have people who sit in the seats, who are like, man, fuck this shit. Almost like, oh boy, this some bullshit. You know what I mean? Right? Mm-hmm. And I would say, there's no Queensberry rules when somebody's ruthless. They're trying to maintain this sort of superiority complex or this power dynamic. And, I think we're at a phase. I mean, okay, let me ask you this. We just talked about this HR 8519, right? Okay. How many brothers, hopefully will actually do the calling, right? Versus how many weirdo feminist chicks call a guy's job just to get him fired, right?
Yeah.
So are we mobilized? Are we organized? Are we going to actually, do the things we need to do? How many people's channels have, been in the YouTube graves because of flagging campaigns? We can't play fair anymore. We just can't. I think we're at a point to where we just can't, we're in that sort of environment.
Mr. Shook to you says there's a healthy level of differences of opinion. Doesn't matter if you like the person or not. Defeat the argument in talking points, which is what I promote. Women don't argue in good faith. They only disrupt. Yeah, because they're more in their feelings than anybody on this planet at this point. And they would rather censor you than to say, "Hey, you know what? Let me make this strong point that is chalked with facts and prove you wrong." The problem with they have with these spaces right here and with the information that's given out is you cannot argue with a fact. Is no one can argue with a fact, and because of that, they resort to name calling. They want to disrespect you, get you flustered, want to make you cuss them out, and sometimes people need to cuss them out. And if that doesn't work, start to slander you, call you gay, say, "Oh, your hairline," bullshit that doesn't fucking matter. And then if that doesn't work, "Oh, let's go on a flagging campaign. Let's get his channel taken down." It's like I don't like the fact that people act like they can say whatever the fuck they want, but you can't say anything. Like fuck that. And my thing is to black men, and that's for people in the chat, people in the clouds. You don't have to take their disrespect. You don't. Fuck them. At the end of the day, just keep spitting these facts, bring up these stats, give out that good information, and let them be as mad as they want. Because see, the key word they try to say is misinformation. How's it misinformation when it's factual? You can research it for yourself.
Hello.
But feelings over facts.
Fuck feelings. That's my motto. Fuck them all. And hello, my name is A.L. Evans, and I can't stand Gold Post movies.
What up, A.L.? The Punisher was good.
What's up, Texas?
What's happening?
Shoot. So, we got Sunny's High Raw with another super chat. He said, "Well, let's ask the expert himself in warfare, Officer Charles. Is it reasonable to say that all is fair in love and war?" So, that was a question for you, Sergeant.
It's very reasonable. Why?
All right.
You got to look at how reasonable it is. You want somebody to play with scorched earth. You come to a fight. It's going to be 1-on-1. Dude pulled out a knife. Now is it fair?
Yeah.
So what are you going to have to do? You're going to have to go above that. So when you look at
gun trumps knife.
When you look at how they're playing, they want us to have kid gloves on and not talk about their behavior, but they can go and literally lie, makes unreasonable subterfuge against our channels. So I say, hey, you go to the ground your enemy fights, and always have one. You always have a couple of nukes to spare, just in case. Fuck that. Only time you fight fair if you signed up for fucking Mayweather Productions or Dana White.
Yeah. Let me say it. Bureau Hammer. Black women are quick to flag black men's channel down. We saw what happened to the likes of Tommy and Obsidian earlier. Yeah, with Obsidian and Kimberly Foster thing. Kimberly Foster has been dragging black men for years with that For Harriet crap for years, saying whatever she's wanted to say to denigrate black men, period. And the second somebody claps back, now I wouldn't have made no over 30 plus videos about her. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have done that because when Obsidian told me that night on this channel, I'm like, that is crazy.
I'm gonna tell you one thing about her. She's one of those. She's especially her. You're just another failed, so-called educated black woman who does not realize that your education means nothing in the schemes of mating and dating. And you're mad when you get your own rhetoric used against you. That's the funniest part.
Yeah. I mean, Kimberly Foster, and with Tommy, they go on these flagging. I mean, you can call a black man a bullet bag all motherfucking day. You can say abort black male babies, and nobody will say shit. Well, nobody's saying nothing to Cynthia G about that. And then, if men decide to, go on a flagging campaign, I'm not saying that censorship is right, but, we're immediately gaslit. Y'all bitches. y'all zesty, y'all sassy, that bullshit. Just like old Heavy from the Fat, who tagged me 10 times trying to get me to argue with her because she ain't got no fucking life. Like, she like 10 motherfucking times. But if I say one thing to her, she gonna try to flag and get me censored. Oh, fuck that shit.
Yeah. But think about it being a content creator. We live in some very interesting times. Because God knows that you and I have been around these streets for a little minute, right, Kev?
Yeah.
And think about it. Just to come out with content, there's always some stupid bitch come in your comment section. I had to tell them. Number one, tell me where I'm wrong. Number two, if you don't like what I'm saying, why are you still here?
Yeah. Those 2 points exactly. Go ahead.
Because they have this innate ability. And see, this goes back into that gynocentric Klingon behavior. They only think of attention that there has to be an argument for them to interact with men. And it's like you wonder, you're obnoxious, you're insufferable. Instead of saying, well, if this is true, no, why not have a conversation? Nope, because you want to argue. That's the only thing that turns you on as a nigga. Look at what happened to old dude on the balloon show.
Yeah, like he wasn't supposed to stand up for himself. Get the fuck out of here with that. Oh, it's the way you saying it. There's no correct way to say these things.
There's nothing. There's always somebody. Well, you don't like a black man that's not subservient. Just say it. I just wish bitches will say it.
Yeah,
that's all it was. He wasn't subservient.
Yeah, he was a confident brother, and he had options. I mean, he's on the Pop the Balloon show. Any working brother with confidence, you got options. You always got chicks that dig that. Them not. And I'm not saying anything about brother. No Diddy or anything, but he can probably pull chicks, better than that. You know what I'm saying?
It's okay to say a dude, a good-looking dude, a handsome dude.
Those were LA leftovers.
You said leftovers?
Those were LA by LA standards. I'm from LA. Those were leftovers compared, like what would generally be in LA like that.
Yeah. I heard most of the nation. I heard most of the nation's tens is like an LA 5. So I've heard about that.
We call them reruns in the South.
Yeah. Rael says, unfortunately, black men are far too gullible for the trick bag. Byron Allen, who cried racism, had Ebony K. Williams and Lamont Hill on his network. Two goofies. Yeah, definitely two goofies. You talking about a simp and somebody who chose to be a single mother, which is a horrible example.
No. I got to correct you. I know this is show, but I got to correct you a little bit, Kev.
I don't want. No, you ain't got to kiss my ass. Now, that's the one policy. You don't have to kiss my ass. Okay, go ahead.
No. I got to correct you on there.
Oh, go ahead.
She's a failed single mother. You can't.
Failed. Oh, okay. I got to add failed. Okay.
Failed. She's not even. She doesn't even. How do you not even get a fucking? How do you not even get the fun of making a baby with the responsibility of taking care of motherfucker?
Oh God.
That's such a failure. How do you? That's Jesus Christ, Ebony. You just a waste of goddamn pretty. Shit. Like, God damn.
Waste a woman, if you ask me.
You're not blocked, LaShawn. You were just kind of somebody paid to have you off the panel, and like, you know what? That gives me a hell of an idea from now on. So,
let's be serious. You do this a lot, man, and it's like we all love you. It's just you don't know when to have a filter, man.
I resound that. Yeah, I don't have the problem with the brother or whatever. It's just not a time or a place when, especially after what happened. Brothers is up here strategizing and trying to, move forward so that, we won't you know what I'm saying? Be without watch with the BS that's out there. We gotta, we all are escaping from the plantation and shit, and you out here seeing.
You can't derail.
Right.
I was like, you can't let the niggas derail the Underground Railroad. Shit.
Damn.
They said, Mr. Sugar, you said they would have got down with Homeboy in a different setting, but they would have been disowned by the sisterhood if they bowed down on Beyonce's internet.
Yeah. You got to look at it. Them bitches were drooling over. It happens a lot of time. I go to the market. If I'm with my son or my godson, they will point out women that are just staring at me, and I'm like, and I'm not even paying them any attention. Sometimes I'm in my phone or reading a damn magazine. Those women, that shows you how phony women are. They're hive minded. Only one chick had her balloon, and if you look at the end, how disappointed in them bitches look.
He said, you know what? There's this concept I want to throw out there for brothers to kind of really get themselves oriented to. It is called rejection sensitivity dysphoria. Okay, it's been most often or not studied as associated with ADHD, but it's also been studied with poor attachments when it comes to people in their formative years growing up, and their relationships with people, and verbal abuse, emotional abuse, not necessarily having solid relationships with family. Now, you can't blame that on the man, because who does the abuse 9 times out of 10 happen under whose watch? We're just going to leave it there. But
5 times more.
Exactly. But
FBI statistics.
You already know. But rejection sensitivity dysphoria is that I'm going to reject you if there's any sort of inkling or belief that you're going to reject me or abandon me. So I have to do it first. You understand what I'm saying? And so that's if you look at it from that sort of lens, then it may open some eyes. And then there's another aspect called vulnerable narcissism, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where
rights of first refusal.
There's rights of first refusal, and then there's also the aspect of I'm going to play humble, but in a way I'm going to sanctimoniously display myself to be the victim and use the sort of shame and guilt and smearing campaign to try to get you up out of there. Just something to think about.
All right, I got 42 likes, and there was another dislike added to this show, so that makes a total of 6. So I guess I'll go ahead and finally play the video.
Now I'm feeling objectified by your male gaze. Damn.
Oh Lord, hallelujah! She's thinking of the Bible.
Feeling objectified, he said.
Yeah, somebody's objectified. At least 6 folks are objectified.
You know what? I am so jealous of you, because I wish I could just see the numbers of my goddamn dislikes. Man, I said that shit gives me substance.
Man, look, I got this app called TubeBuddy that shows you dislikes. So it's 6 of them. But Revelator, the spirit of variance, thank you for the super chat. He said, I'm for the score policy. What about the female audience mentors and or content creators who participate in the chats on some Black Manosphere channels? What should be done to them? Well, Angela C is cool. There's another one that is cool. Her name begins with a T. But outside of that, I don't trust them very much.
Julia's always been cool. So I mean, shit. I mean, it's like you said. It's very few that you can really trust. And I mean,
yeah, but for your Mays, your Koja Maliks, those kind of people, nah.
no.
I mean, like on motherfucking site. I mean, that's why you got a wrench. And if you don't do it, I'll do it myself.
Pretty much. Like you got to think about it. Like you made a good point, Kev. Like We are in a very controversial, quote unquote, controversial space. Content creators like us are very rare. We're in the whole scan of the internet and YouTube. We're still a small section, but why the fuck is everybody scared of this section? You know why? Because we tell the truth. And here's the hideous part about it. Now we got the evidence to back it up.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not convinced at this point, black man, I don't know what's going to convince you. You know what I'm saying? We still have people like, I say Mahogany. In Mahogany, she be on the fence sometime, but Mahogany's been here for a very long time. Reigning Woman. Some people feel a certain way about Reigning Woman. But like I said, the troublemakers that have proven to be troublemakers that can't leave that space alone, I ain't got time for this shit. Not at all. Like that's it. So like the names I just mentioned, and also the one y'all mentioned in the chat, cool. But the rest of them bitches, if they're being purposely disruptive, get rid of their asses. I ain't got time for this anymore. They play like that on their channels. And there's guys that got them chicks with wrenches all over their fucking channel. And I'm not, and shout out to guys like Aunt T and Platinum Elite. I'm not telling them guys how to run their channels, but like when I go over to their chats, it's like, wow, they chats are full of them. And these are women who are purposely disruptive. It's just, I don't even comment in their chats because shit. Like I get timed out, blocked, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? like the second I say something, like it just okay. Black men being brutally honest, hell no. Right.
The one that recently surprised me was that I can't confirm this, so I don't really want to say it, but there was just one chick that's always on Fantastic, and she's on a bunch of other channels, and she's always dropping like hundreds and shit.
They drop money. They cool. But it's like, look. What they say, dropping hundreds?
Yeah, she's always dropping hundreds and fucking buying a bunch of subs and shit. But somebody told me that, like, yeah, she said some anti-black man shit more than a few times, and I'm like, I was surprised to hear that because I never personally seen it, but these dudes been around those spaces longer than I have, so I just took his word for it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we got to be more careful, man. I know, and I'm saying that for me too because I'm not the perfect content creator. I've made mistakes in the past, but I can own those mistakes. You know what I'm saying? I've been a little salty with some guys, and some guys deserve that shit. Yes, they did. They deserved it. But like I said, for the sake and the survival of this space right here, I will be a much. Oh, wait a minute, somebody's down there. Oh man, it's two people. I'm sorry, man. I didn't even see y'all. Yeah, for the survival of this space, I have to be true to it. We have to be careful with, who we trust, good God, and here who we let up and all this other shit. So, all right, we got the contractor. I don't think you've ever been up here before. We'll let you speak. Welcome to the channel, and then
He's from
we'll let Ryan
from the Machizo TV crew.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen him on there before. So welcome to the show. We'll let you go first, and then we'll let Rael go.
Good evening, gentlemen. Late night, but I saw my brother was on, so I was curious. I went ahead and peeked in real quick to see what's going on, and we're trying to figure out what the topic is.
Yeah, you got some static going on in the background. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, you say you're just in here supporting your brother. So, thank you. But Rael, okay, you got the 40. What's good?
Still a lot of static in the background.
Yeah, I think that's either Salty or Chaos Rain. Yeah, it was Salty. But go ahead, Rael.
Peace to the panel. Peace to the chat.
Peace.
You know, we as men tend to find ourselves going in a continuous merry-go-round with this shit, and it just reminds me of the old Facebook days when I was on there, where you would have guys who would, when you would be on certain pages and you would give guys would give females admin privileges, and when you would say things that the female didn't like, they would remove you from the group constantly. Guys would have to come back, and who fuck with you would add you into the group, and it affected the engagement because, you know, when men come into spaces that it's supposed to be for men and can't speak the way they want to speak freely, you know, it's not really a space for men at that point. It would be tantamount to going to the barbershop and having to muzzle yourself and not be able to speak freely amongst men because women happen to come in there and bring their kids in there to get their haircuts. And so what we find ourselves doing is constantly going through the circle jerk because quite frankly, men typically don't really have the balls to just tell females no emphatically and stick to it. When I was with this particular chick years ago, this is when I was in my 20s and early 20s, and I never forget what she said to me. She said, she said, this is a black female. She's like, you know, you're the first man that's ever told me no. And I said to her, I said, well, you better get used to it. And what made me, you know, because I talked to some of my friends about it at that time, and I said to them, you know, it's a lot of feedback.
Sorry about that. That was me.
Okay. What I said to them was, what was so interesting was the fact that up until me, she basically had been able to get her way. And as much as females like to think that they want men to let them do whatever the hell they want to, there's something called nature that you just can't get away from. And females who are with guys who let them just have their way ultimately are not going to have any respect for those guys. And so what happens is that you know, she might go through 50 dudes before she get to a real guy that just like, nah, man, I'm not putting up with that nonsense. And so this same particular female said to me, you know, at one point in time, like, well, you know, a lot of these guys, you know, they don't have all these things to say about me like you do. And I said, yeah, because those guys that you're talking about, they've been begging you for a long time for a chance. I'm like, I know you every day. I know your insecurities. I know your self-esteem issues. I know your lack of confidence issues. I said, they don't get to see the real you. I said, I get to see the real you because I'm with you. So, and this is what really is really driving a lot of this, this pushback from these females. Like they really are hating to see the mirror really get put up to them. And before social media, you know, you used to have to try to figure out, you know what I'm saying, a lot of this BS. Now you got all these podcasts where females can get online and say I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about social media that make females just be so honest. It's the weirdest thing to me, you know. But they'll get up on a podcast and say exactly what they think, how they get down, how they manipulate and get over on dudes. And, you know, no longer can females say anything about, well, y'all just making stuff up about women and it's not really that serious, this and that and the fourth and blase, blase this. They no longer can say that anymore. So now what they have to do is like what a particular female said on the Roger Report a few years ago when she came up on the panel, and I think I can't remember exactly what. No, I know what it was. I think I had asked her, like, what is your purpose here? Because I was like, at the end of the day, we're not going to agree with you. Whatever you say, nobody is up here going to agree with your position. So at the end of the day, you said what you needed to say. So now what else? What else is there? Because we're just going to be in disagreement. So you might as well just go on your way. And her response was, I'm here to stop these young men from hearing what y'all have to say.
And she said that, quote unquote, he's correct.
So that was the first time that I actually had a female verbalizer like that. Because what she was really saying was she didn't want younger black men, or hell, even boys as they grow into their manhood, to understand what kind of women that they were up against. Because like I said before, like you take a 15-year-old, black male teenager, you take a 15-year-old black female teenager, and mentally the female is probably about 45, 50 years old mentally. Because she's getting so much gain from females around her, how to manipulate guys, how to get over on guys. She's seeing a mom do it all the time. The 15-year-old black male, he's probably like 5 mentally. He has no understanding of the cunning and the manipulative tactics females can press upon him. And so this is why you will have men that come in these spaces, 30s, 40s, 50s, completely like, man, I didn't know what was going on, man. Like, because I mean, it starts even in the home where the females in their own families manipulate them to do stuff for them that they really shouldn't be doing, because those females need to go out there and get their own husband and get a man to do that for them on that level. I mean, it's not saying that brothers can't help you do certain things, but when you're not the kind of woman, it's kind of like when you help women move. When I was younger, I stopped helping women move that I had knew, because if you really a good female, you're supposed to have a man to help you move, because you're supposed to have your own man. And if you don't, then go pay somebody for that service. Don't go out here and throw your back out for your mom or your sister or your female cousins because they ain't got no man. Hey, that's on them. That's their responsibility. So you ain't got to throw your back out for them. You know what I'm saying? And so, that female particularly, she really let us know, like, okay, we don't want this information to get to these young dudes, because as we can clearly see, the more men get brought into the manipulative tactics a lot of women do, they're going to pull back their resources. They're not going to be doing all of these things that men have been doing for all of these years, getting nothing really in return. And so that's going to affect, their comfort levels as well out here. And so, but that particular female really let us know, like, she did not really want black males, especially the younger ones, to really get hip to the manipulative tactics a lot of them do. And, this is nothing more than those types of things, manipulative tactics. One of the things I've never heard from these particular females overall in this whole entire conversation throughout these years, I've never heard any of these females ask, how can we be better for y'all? That's one of the questions I've never heard them actually express. With all the back and forth, I have never heard any one of them say, what can we do to be better women?
Not gonna do it. Ain't gonna happen.
They already think they're perfect,
right,
girl. They already think they're perfect.
Hold on, and that lets you know, I'm gonna finish with this, and that just lets you know that it's not about bringing the black community together. It's not about black men and black women working it out and all this type of stuff. They just want men to just be quiet and not to impress upon young men, especially because the younger females, especially when you get to the Z's and that group, they're already feeling the sting of rejection, because when they go to when it's prom time in high school, the guys are not asking them, they're asking other females from other races. So they're coming back to the women and saying, well, I thought this black boy was cute. I would have wanted to go to the prom with him, but they're not even looking at us. We're not even getting asked to go to the proms and stuff like that. And so the mothers are going to have to answer, like, why are they rejecting us? Like, we're young. Like, what is wrong with us? And they're going to have a real complicated conversation that they really don't want to have. Because, see, instead of arguing with us, what they should be doing is going offline and trying to help the younger generations of younger females become better women for the future generations of young black men. But that's not what they're doing. And that's why I asked May the other day, and when she came on a panel I was on, popping a lot of shit. What are you doing to help black females be better, especially the younger generation? What are you contributing to help them grow into the kind of women that men can ultimately see as potential wives? And there was nothing. Her excuse was, well, the women's spaces, they ain't really talking about shit. So I was like, okay, well, basically you're a coward, because you don't really want to stand up to what's going on over there. You'd rather come over here and try to police our tone and what we're saying, when ultimately what we're really saying is be better. I mean, that's the ultimate. The critique is saying be better women. It's not saying, oh, they hate you. It's saying be better if you want to move forward. But that's the whole point. They don't believe they have to be better for you. They just have to exist, and
Brother,
that should be good enough for them.
brother, between yourself, forgive me, please, but I just now I'm up to speed. You don't, well, most of us don't understand female nature. Female nature is clear. It's selfish. It's nasty. It's all the dirty things that you would not do. That's their nature. You're telling the creature to be better, but she can be a hoe. You dig what I'm saying to you? She ain't got to be better, because it's gonna be some man that's gonna pick her filthy ass up out of the goddamn street like a goddamn muppet and use her. They don't have to be better. They can be whatever they want to be, because somebody's gonna provide for me. That part. They don't care about none of that. You're asking morality and rules and honor from something that ain't got to be that. Then on top of that, for most of them, real talk, bro, they will never be better. You're expecting a blessing from the devil. These are hard-headed, nasty ass, broken hoes that were raised by hard-headed, nasty ass, broken hoes. It ain't never gonna happen. You expect too much. They are what they are. Accept that and
Oh,
move
no, I don't
on.
expect it. I don't expect it. I'm just saying what the overall conversation is. I came into space saying most of them are not going to change. I've been saying that for years.
So contractor, real quick, contractor. You think our point is to negotiate? That's what you got from this conversation. I
Nigga,
mean, if you want to talk to somebody about negotiating, go over there to BGS. He the one that want to set the goddamn table. I mean,
negotiating is not an
but
option with a terrorist, sir. You
yeah,
never
yeah,
negotiate with a terrorist.
I know, but like what I'm saying is it's scorched earth over here. I don't have no intention with negotiating with any of them or trying to convince them of anything.
Of course.
Not at this point. Not. I mean, and I've known this kind of censorship been around for years. It's like, let me tell you one of the worst mistakes I ever made in my Facebook group. Black men being brutally honest with everyone. Making a female admin. I made a female admin, basically to defuse some weirdos in there. But it was one of the biggest mistakes I ever made, and it killed the momentum of the group. So I understand that just by lessons that were inflicted upon myself. So I get it. People who didn't understand female nature before, there are people that are more aware of it now. In fact, hell, like the person I said that stalked me 10 times got this very broadcast in a community tab. And she's one of those short, no, I ain't gonna even, like, let me not insult the way she looks, But she been trying to be at me for a while, trying to start arguments with me. These black men are stupid, they're gay, blah blah blah, and all this other stuff. And I mean, you are that she doesn't understand that her behavior well establishes what we've been saying this entire conversation. She's not doing any good to, to promote the cause of, black women who are reasonable and sensible, because she isn't. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can be up on this platform and have any conversation I want as long as I'm not being hateful to certain groups. But I mean, it's like this form of, I guess I would say, stalking. I mean, is in this form of gaslighting. I mean, you're what you're doing is you're making it. I mean, what she's doing is she's making things super subjective right now. And while she's saying our feelings are hurt, her feelings are very hurt. I mean, you share my videos, say real like horrible shit about me. Yeah, I mean, and I'm supposed to sit here and take it. Like, oh, okay, well, you can disrespect me. I ain't gonna say nothing, because if I do, that just means I'm being thin-skinned and sensitive. No, bitch, no, fuck you, fuck your life.
All right, why would I?
Kev, we could all donate you, in a sort of sacrificial lamb trade where you give her the peace pipe, and I think we might have peace over here in our neck of the.
Hey, but what you about to say, contractor?
No, I would never support that. Forgive me, it's my first time on your platform, so I'm trying to be respectful. And
yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Honestly,
say what you feel, man.
I believe you kick a bitch out the tent. Fuck that. Ain't no peace pipe for you.
Yeah.
You see what they are. You see what they do. At the end of the day, for those who can't accept what the reality of what they see, that's on them. That ain't on me. I'm simply saying that at the end of the day, these bitches they've been acting up, they're gonna keep acting up, and ain't nothing you can do until they finally get what they've been aiming at. Broke up by the dominant society or whoever. But they're not our responsibility. But the struggle for most of us is to deal with their nature. That ain't a struggle for me. I let them hoes be hoes. I let them do what they do.
Yeah.
I expect it. I'm not surprised by it. Their nature is neither here nor there. I don't care. It's like cigarette smoking air. It's here now and it's gone in a few minutes. So no, I don't agree with them at all. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is, if you can't accept a bitch for a bitch, then that's your issue, not mine, bro.
I agree.
They gonna keep being what they be.
Well, I don't think Rael was saying that. I think he was more or less trying to articulate, where things were onto, the sort of natural progression over the years, because, much to his credit, he was harassing the female troll and got them up out of there on Roger's report. I don't know how long ago that might have been, but
a couple years.
Yeah, a couple of years ago. But the thing is, while we're here, I mean, I guess the question on the table is that, I mean, you do have people who are here who's been, kind of, some can argue relatively peaceful, but then one may wonder, okay, well, because somebody's not being disruptive, it doesn't mean that they're not like being spies and listening for little snippets and things like that for somebody else. Who knows? You know what I mean? But I guess what Keep It 100 put out is indicative of a lot of the sort of disruption that we're willing to entertain, much to contractors' point. You know what I mean? You have brothers who come here who's, and Rael's point, who come here to look for, would you say, a virtual barbershop. They're being burned on two ends of the fucking stick. You know what I mean? Outside the house, inside the home. And they're like, hey, man, I'm going to chill with the brothers. And, actually, this actually keeps me going. There's a reason why Charles say this space have saved many lives that y'all just don't know about. You know what I mean? So how do we continue to actually save those invisible lives out there that we don't actually see because they're going through a bunch of bullshit, only for us to offer a sort of filtered diet version, filler version of a space that's supposed to be about black men. This is one of the few areas that's left where you see black men actually congregate, have discussions, debate, and engage each other in a sort of positive manner outside of the public. Unfortunately, because all the sort of public institutions, be it work, be it religious bodies, be it outside of something more or less task oriented, like playing basketball, working out, or maybe at work. When do we actually have these sort of discussions like that? There's not very many. I'll land my plane there.
Well, let me say this from a so let's take a view from a historical perspective. Okay, now 80s, 90s, early 2000s, you had people who used to make the argument that democracy is strengthened when you have the people who are the most distasteful being able to exercise their First Amendment right.
Yeah.
You had people like the New York Times who said these things. I forget the particular guy's name, who when it came to the KKK having the right to express how they felt, and typically who they were saying what they felt about was typically black people. Occasionally some other groups, but typically their focus was black people. They said, even though these same types of people were burning crosses on black people's churches and lawns, because some of y'all are young, but y'all don't remember that. But we were still seeing that like in the 80s and 90s. We were still seeing it.
Yeah.
The parades,
the parades,
right?
parades, all of that. Okay. Now, this is while these people were actually physically attacking and intimidating black people, and they said that they still had the right to do that while they was doing stuff like that. Now you got these types of spaces, and they're saying they want to police hate. Well, wait a minute. You said that democracy is strengthened when the most disfavorable people, the least tasteful people, get to say what they want to say. Why is it any different? Now, mind you, this same particular female individual, this May chick specifically, is the same chick who said she worked for feminist organizations. Okay. Well, let's look a historical view of feminist organizations. Let's take a look at the suffragists, like the Elizabeth Cady Stantons, for example, who, when black men got the right to vote, specifically went to Southern white racist politicians and turned against Frederick Douglass, who was supporting female suffragists. So he was trying to help white women specifically get the right to vote. Okay, even though these same white females didn't want black women to get the right to vote, and they didn't even want poor white women to get the right to vote. Okay,
They de facto, not to cut you off, and they de facto earned the right to vote without any obstruction. Although black men earned the right to vote before by law, but we already know how that went. I just want to interject that in.
Right.
Yeah.
So now what they were able to do is to try to play on the Southern male sphere, white male sphere, using language like, well, if y'all allow black men to get power, they're going to do to your women what the men did to their women on the plantation.
Facts.
They're going to, they even said this to black females, like, you're going to be under a worse slavery under black men than you were under the white men, which is some ludicrous shit. Okay. Now, these are the These are the very people that you see constantly trying to muzzle black men's speech. The very people who instigated things. When you see Birth of a Nation, the one that came out in the early 1900s, you're seeing the work of white feminists. That's where it came from. That's where it really truly came from, because of the things that they were able to put into the minds of the racist white in the South who were still licking their wounds from losing the Civil War. So now all of a sudden, when everybody else has has spoken hate against black people and black men specifically, have had racist advertisings, they have had pictures of black people eating watermelon with big lips and big noses and spitting out watermelon seeds and buckets of fried chicken and all this other type of shit that contributed to negative stereotypes about black people. After all of that shit, now all of a sudden you have to be in fear of somebody typing a message on a damn social media app. There has never been a space that I've been in where I've heard any black man that said, "Hey man, go out there and just tear some shit up, man." I ain't never heard I would never condone no shit like that ever. I would never be a part of it. If
None
I
of
ever
us
seen it, I'd be
will.
like, man, I'm out. I'm gone.
No, none of us will, and that's BS when they push that shit. Go ahead, Ryan.
Right. So what makes this space so frustrating is the fact that this is the things that we've been saying for multiple years here.
Mm-hmm.
We've been saying, do not give them a range. Do not give them the airspace. Many of us have been saying this for years. They're not going to have the dialogue. They're not here for dialogue. This is not a negotiation. They're not here for that. They're not here for that. They're here for attention. They're here to take you off the issues. Man, we've seen plenty of dudes in this space talk a certain game and, hey, don't deal with this kind of one and don't deal with that. And then, hey, man, next thing you know, people releasing text messages and them niggas trying to deal with them same type of chicks. See, the thing is that at a certain point, black men are going to have to establish a code. Sorry, I know it's tough, but there's going to have to be a certain rule of engagement of how black men, first of all, interact with each other, specifically when it comes to this a level of respect thing, because there's a serious issue amongst black men that allows this type of nonsense to come in, because May tried to do this the other day with us. They'll try to pit certain types of men against each other and have them going at back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And when you have dudes who want to peacock for chicks, and I hate to have to say it, man, but that's far too many black men, then letting females come in your spaces is like being in a war on a battlefield and giving your fucking enemy your coordinates of where you are. It's like why are you going to keep doing that? Like, I mean, at a certain point, we've been at the social media shit for a while. I mean, Facebook 2006 came out, 2006. I mean, at a certain point, I mean, it's 2024. We're talking about almost 20 years. At a certain point, black men are going to have to say, you know what, man? You know what? Me and this guy over here, we might have our issues, man. I might disagree with him on this type of stuff. But this motherfucker right here is causing a lot of problems. Like, too many got, like, I can't, like, this dude ain't trying to get over him. He ain't trying to do nothing to me. Like, he just disagreed with my position.
Yeah.
But this motherfucker right here is a problem. Is trying to start a lot of issues. And as long as black males constantly, I mean, I remember this going back to the O'Shea days, man, when he was giving females wrenches and they were timing out dudes that was giving him money. It's like, yo, at a certain point, man, like, damn, like, when are y'all gonna wake up and really put your foot down and really establish some ground rules, not just for them, but for men overall? Like, if you see somebody, man, doing something to somebody, man, that is just not not the move of a man. Like, I don't give a damn who you rocking with. Yo, man, be a man and say, you know what, hey, man, you know what? Pull him to the side and say, yo, man, I rock with you, man, but that shit you doing right now, man, I ain't feeling that shit. I'm not feeling that shit. You know what? Hey, man, yo, kind of chill on that shit. And so that's where we have to be at. You know what I'm saying? Because as long as this is just up for grabs, like, okay, well, you get to decide who gets to get away with certain shit, and I get to decide who gets to get away with certain shit. There is never going to be any equilibrium. It's going to be the same thing over and over again. That's why we're here, because we're still having the same type of conversation with certain types of female, because a lot of guys mistakenly believe that, hey, man, we can have an adult conversation. But again, what Salty was talking about earlier is in terms of this attachment. Yo, man, this attachment stuff is real. I've been talking about this stuff in the space for multiple years. They are dealing with issues that have nothing to do with us as black men as a collective. Do not try to use your broken family, your broken single mom raised self. Do not try to use that and extrapolate that experience as something that's indicative of what you're going to get in terms of treatment from black men. Can you get that type of experience with black men? Yes, but you can also go over there with white folks and get that same type of experience too, because white folks got to deal with narcissistic moms too. White men deal with them too, and you're going to get similar experiences as well. So, you know, this same type of female is willing to work for a feminist organization. As far as I'm concerned, you work for a feminist organization as a black female, you might as well be working for the KKK as far as I'm concerned. So if you're willing to do that, cool. I ain't even no conversation to be had. You say you say you're a feminist. I don't even. There ain't nothing to talk about, because I know what historically feminists, white feminists have been coming from. They've come through that racist white experience as far as KKK and groups that have been trying to ultimately limit black men's rights, which is no different than what this chick is trying to do now. So I'm not with that type of stuff. You say you work for feminists. As far as I'm concerned, you always work for them. So I ain't got nothing. I don't got nothing for you.
Wow. Preaching to the choir right there. It's like, I'm the same way. Once you say you're a feminist, no, I ain't got nothing for you. Yeah, but we do have a problem with, major content creators that do push like hateful women. And I know you mentioned O'Shea, like, yeah, he's very guilty of that. Like, he's very guilty of it. And this was a guy that claimed that he's for his people. You're not really for your people. You're against your people if you do that kind of thing. So I mean, he's in his own lane right now, but primarily he was responsible. Like, on top of the people you mentioned earlier, Rael, like people like Boyce Watkins and Tariq, for giving people like Cynthia G that extra push that they needed to spew their hateful bullshit against black men. And this pretending like this shit doesn't exist, or we're not supposed to be affected by it, or we're supposed to ignore it and then get gaslit into taking it like you were being sensitive if we take exception to it. That's a bunch of nonsense. And that's what's got black men in these positions in the first place, is the fact that, that we didn't have the wherewithal or the spine to speak out against it, or to even have each other's backs. Although we may disagree, we need to be honest with ourselves. In fact, I would go as far as to say be brutally honest with ourselves and identify what the problem actually is. With male-led movements, and I would even say this about the civil rights movement, we have always been inclusive of women who have been to our detriment. And then when King died and there was no real strong leadership in the civil rights movement, those same women went to the feminist movement. Screw us. So we with this whole opportunity that we have in this space, we got to be cautious of it, or we can't have a space anymore. That's the real of it. It's like we don't deserve a space if we continue to let this kind of thing happen. If we let people have, the floor and have a word in where we conduct our conversations at. And then when we go to their spaces, then we're being censored. We're being blocked. I mean, it's like, why are you showing them respect when they don't have an inkling of respect for you? And one thing that does make me kind of spiteful toward that same thing is this: if you go against them, you're automatically called things like gay and a coon. But if they go at you, oh, they're just speaking their mind. You know, they're sticking up for their rights. Man, fuck all that. Black
Hey,
men, we gotta have more. We gotta have more spine in that shit. You know.
can,
Yeah. Go ahead.
can I point out two things? So
Yeah, go ahead.
first things first, okay? And you're absolutely right about the sort of hate speech thing. Not hate speech, but hate watcher thing, right?
Yeah.
Um, apparently, May has put up why you can't 100% get rid of women in this space. You know what I mean? On her community chat, just as we're here, with a show scheduled and all that funny stuff. It's funny how people dedicate their time and energy and stuff like that. And speaking of the bigger structure of things, right? Um, our quote unquote counterparts, if we like to call them that at this point, have had, funding, support, and driving by the dominant society, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so do not be surprised if there's, people who are not skilled or trained in digital repression tactics. Because, this space has started off largely as a sort of organic assembly of men who are just basically trying to have their voices heard and kind of in a way a sort of fly by night sort of thing. Okay, now this right here is an article that actually speaks to some of the techniques that some of these folks actually employ, right? Okay, because I like to be empirical here. In this article, it has a sort of abstract as far as some of the strategies they actually use, because some of these people who've done organizing, BLM training, feminist training, they're quite skillful at what they do. Okay, so this probably also speaks to us being considerate of you know of a possible skill gap, so that we're actually able to root out people who are trying to play games and cause disruption within our spaces. Right here it says social manipulation and disinformation, censorship, surveillance, internet shutdowns, and targeted persecution against online users. Does any of this sound familiar to you guys?
Yep.
I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. You see what I'm saying? So we we may think of these folks as these sort of trolls who are just kind of coming out of nowhere, who are being disagreeable. They're hearing talking points that annoys them or whatever the case may be. But anybody with any sort of common sense or who's well studied and versed in history, just like people speak about history per se, right? Um, and I'm sure they know how when black women were in the women's suffrage march, how they were spat on, kicked, beat up, and forgotten, right, from history. But yet and still, they still attach themselves to a movement that have nothing to do with them. At the turn of the century, where Margaret Sanger made sort of these sort of statements like the Negro race are the weeds of the earth, right? They attach themselves to these sorts of types, right? And the sort of intellectual lineage would be known now today as quote unquote intersectionality, where there's obviously a difference in color, a difference in septum rings, same weight sizes, same hair length under their arms, but they're spewing the same sort of black male hate stuff. Because if they really, really was quote unquote about that change or whatnot, you don't actually ever see them lead the same level of quote unquote vitriol against the dominant society, right? We're just their whipping boys. But this is some of the stuff that they actually do. Let's just be honest here, right? Hey, son, it's all right. You're absolutely right, and let's add the Harambe Collective with them. You know what I mean? And then on to the '80s, to the stuff that we seen with Oprah, onto the mainstream movies and all that other stuff, right? So we've been dealing with people like to say up until about maybe 40, 50 years ago. I would drag it back further than that.
Yep.
Remember, even before this space, there was, rap and hip hop, and, a lot of people were voicing their grievances on wax. And there was this sort of moral crusade about black men and rap and hip hop and stuff like that, when that was more or less, the first chance that black men had the ability to, have their perspectives heard up until that particular time, because there was plenty of books out there about black men and these sort of abusive fantasies and all that other birth of the nation crap out there, but yeah, I'm just pointing out this article, just to kind of at least put a seed in brothers' minds as far as what we're up against, and that it's a lot more organized than we believe it to be, and that there needs to be at least some sort of rules of engagement or understanding amongst brothers and channels and things like that, as far as what these folks aim to do to muzzle black men's voices. I'll land my plane there.
Agree with that.
Hello? You're muted. Big Cab, you're muted. You're muted, brother.
Okay. Yeah. I'm here. Sometimes that mouse pointer be so small, but all right. Yeah. Look, yeah, it's been about 3 hours, man, but I think we got the point across very good. Oh, the contractor's back. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, contractor, you did you want to say anything else? Yeah, because I'm about to wrap this up.
No, sir. Just good lesson. Sit and
Okay.
learn. Take
All
it
right.
all up.
Well, final statements then for everybody. If we want to go ahead and go.
I'll go. Let me get up out of here. Thanks for having me up. We really need to really come to an understanding of how much we've been miseducated about how we got here, because much of the way people respond to certain things is not really right and exact, because a lot of times people don't really have the full depth of really actually what happened. And I was looking at some data from Tuskegee Institute. They used to put out this annual report for about 40 years called the Negro Yearbook. And this yearbook, it was a collection of data centered around all that business activity that Black people were engaged in, social activity, political activity. And it's a great source of information, because what I love about it is the fact that it's a repository for information about Black people, but by Black people. So you get to hear from the horse's mouth, like actually what Black people were doing. It's kind of almost like a time machine. You get to really see, the activity that Black people were engaged in. And so when I was looking at the numbers, they had these numbers about the Black collective wealth. So from 1863, it was talking about how the collective Black wealth of Black people was at 20,000. And by 1913, Black people's collective wealth in 50 years had went from 20,000 to $700 million. And so what you find when you're looking at this particular type of data is what you see is a Black community, a real actual community, actually getting things done together. And on both sides, men and women are going to have to get much more knowledgeable about who we really are, who we truly are as a collective historically, and what we've done and what we've contributed to this place called America, and really figure out how much miseducation that Carter G. Woodson spoke so eloquently about in the miseducation of the Negro has really contributed to the social stupefaction of Black people as a collective. Because when you are the type of Black person that goes online, and I used to say this even when I was on Facebook, when you go online and you take the time out to read the rules of the guidelines and of all these things, as much as Black people love to talk about white people and Black people, stop going to white people for everything, and these same types of Black people will literally take the time to go through the community guidelines in these apps, which a lot of it is a joke, and then they'll actually use white people's rules on social media apps to suppress the speech of Black men. And then they wonder why they don't have a Black community. Because it's not like if white people were not around and these women were having these particular issues, like it would be anything differently said. It's not like that. It would be the same. And it's like, if you can do that kind of research to figure out how to shut somebody's voice down, why don't y'all take that time out as females to do that kind of research when you choose a man? Why don't you put that time and effort into actually a choice in a man instead of complaining about men? Because you can't have it both ways. You can't complain about the dearth of men that are not here, that are not available to you. And then when you come in spaces where men are having conversations about relationships, because the truth of the matter is, the reason why a lot of Black men still have the conversation is because Black men still want these women to change. So that's a good thing for you, because that means the men still have some kind of belief in you that you will possibly, there's a possibility you can change. So why are you against that? Why are you against the men believing that you can possibly change? I myself personally, from a collective standpoint, I think culturally it's past the point of no return. And it's because of females like me specifically. I believe that they're so far gone. They'll sit there and work for feminist organizations that have said all types of negative things about Black men historically. They will work for them, even though they're claiming that they come from masculine men, they come from men who are doers in their family, and all it took for them to switch was to get to college and get around some white women, and they completely switch. That's all it takes. That ain't Black men. Like there has never been a check that Black men have gotten from any white folks to make Black men turn against Black females. Where's that check at? And so when you really look at it from that particular perspective, what group of men want a flighty female that is so quick to betray you for another group who historically has been the bane of their existence, who would just switch on you at the drop of a dime like that? Hell, switch on their own family like that. If you saying you was raised by masculine Black men and you was raised about good Black men that protected you and defended you, how you get to college, man, and you start swirling with white dudes? How you get to white feminist organizations that do nothing but try to put the muzzle on Black men's speech? And that's from a historical perspective, because they use their position as white females to get into white men's ear and pass legislations that hindered Black men's mobility. How can you really how can you even wake up and look at yourself every day knowing you are a part of those types of groups? That to me is like one of the most horrendous type things you can do. and that just really shows you who really is more of the sellout in our group. And it's not been the men. I mean, you have had some men who was on some sellout type stuff, but most of these females are indoctrinated to be feminists. So that lets you know where their ultimately loyalties lie, and that's fine. If that's where your loyalties are, cool. But if that's where your loyalties are, why are you in a space bothering black men? You don't honor black men. You don't care about black men having a voice. You are here to try to stifle black men's voice. You're not in these other spaces trying to stifle racist white men's voices. You ain't trying to stop them, but you find yourself in these places, and those guys say a whole lot more than black men can ever say. So,
oh yeah,
I'm saying black men need to just stop giving spaces to these types of females. They are who they are. They're traitors. You know what I'm saying? They want those butter biscuits, and that's just what it's always going to be for them. As far as I'm concerned, they can never come back to any table because, as far as I'm concerned, they don't deserve to eat where we eat anyway.
Okay, Rael, thank you for your knowledge that you have contributed for, I would say, a few years now, like you always have. So, really appreciate it, brother, for coming up and sharing your time and your knowledge with us once again. So, thank you very much for that. So, who's next? Uh, KAL, Chaos, Faulkner, Andre 420.
No, nothing really.
Okay. Are the rest of the guys asleep? I know the contractor's probably still awake, but Andre, are you asleep? Faulkner?
I'm here. What is this? Closing thoughts?
Yeah, yeah, we're closing it. Yeah, so if you want to say something in closing, go right ahead.
Peace and head grease, gentlemen. It was a good one. Good
Word.
dialogue. Good dialogue used today.
All right. So who's next? So we got Faulkner, Andre, Faulkner. Okay. Saul, you got anything left?
Yeah, I'll give mine, but I'm a stick as you know.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Um, I would say that at the end of the day, no quarter, no mercy, no surrender, no yardage given up. Um, I hope that people really take heed to what has been going on this past, a couple of months or years or whatever else has been going on. Remain vigilant, black men, and even me as a content creator. If you see some funny stuff with me, or that I insult your intelligence as an audience, I want you to hold me accountable. Nobody's above the sort of code, nobody whatsoever, right? Sometimes there's other things going on where people become blinded by their own judgment, by their own ego, and they don't look at a bunch of different data points to actually see what the writing is on the wall, and they may begin one way, not necessarily knowing that their whole trajectory has been skewed or altered by somebody who might not necessarily have our best interests at stake. I would say stay studied. I would encourage you all to support HR 8519. You can contact your local congressman about that and digital repression. Um, I would say get yourselves a little more knowledgeable as far as digital repression techniques. Rael did actually highlight a point that people aim to stay up middle of the night reading community guidelines and things like that. You know what? In all fairness, I think it might not necessarily even be a bad idea for you all to learn the rules of engagement, right? They do it. They use the power structure against us, right? So why not use the power structure against them? Okay, play dirty, right? Okay, and even in real life, right? The one that yells, screams, throw plates, and holler and disrespect you and stuff like that, you can't alpha your way into making somebody behave like an adult. Go to that police station, file that police report. You have a record what's going on. Play by the rules, or guess what? They'll play you. We need to stop giving people some sort of moral guidelines to actually restrict us when they're actually, um, using guerrilla warfare against us. Uh, we're using obviously Queensberry rules and Geneva Convention, chivalry, and all this other stuff onto not snitching. We're confined by our own morals. That's the problem at its basis. We need to shift them and be agile because these conditions don't allow them because we could be a detriment by our own morals. I'll land my plane here.
Okay. All right. So, all right. So, Rael says what men need to do is tell women who keep bothering them and to leave them alone. They don't welcome them and they continue to create a digital trail of their harassment if need be sue. Yeah. I mean, put them, like some content creators say, put them people in their life. They'll do it to you, you know, do it to them back, That way we can keep things truly fair and balanced. I mean, treat people how you want to be treated. You try to censor us, hey, we can use the laws too. We can read just like you can. I mean, seriously. And I mean, like it's not. I mean, and you can't say that. Oh, it's not fair for you to do that, black man, because they're not being fair with you. That's what it is. So, I mean, if I mean, my advice to any of these would be people who want to censor folks. I mean, if you don't want it done to you, don't do it to anyone else. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't necessarily got to be me. Somebody else, some other black man could get this wild idea of okay, if you want to do me like that, we'll do you like that, and then it just be that way. I mean, so the best solution at the end of the day is basically nobody censors nobody. Just let everybody speak. I mean, but since it's like this, it's got to be like that. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep our platform safe and away from these people who want to distract us from the conversation. And it will go as far, and it will go as far as to fuck with us so much to the point where when we say something, then they want to flag us. Then they want to try to get our channels taken down. We've seen this happen to several content creators already. They have people harassing them, they have people stalking them, and then when we finally say something back, they go to their zaddy YouTube. Oh my God, I don't know if I feel safe, and then they get you taken down. Oh, that's some dirty ass shit. This censorship thing, for a society that's supposed to believe in free speech, is not really built for the black man. And in order for us to, get a positive shift, we're gonna have to take some action, some action ourselves. And don't be afraid to do it. Don't be gaslit into believing that you're some kind of bitch if you do that stuff. Because see, here's the thing: they don't care. They don't give a damn. If you live or die, you go out there and get hit by a bus tomorrow, your family all crying and bury you. They will celebrate your death. That's how dirty and evil they are right now. So, hey, I'm not saying fight fire with fire. I could say fight fire with a nuclear bomb, and that would have a much better effect. So, yeah, but at the same time, don't let this discourage you from continuing to give out this information, continuing to give out these facts. And if they don't like it, hell, they can tune out. I mean, anybody can answer words with words. And if we're wrong, feel free to prove it. I'm one of those content creators that's not above saying that he's wrong. And you know what I'm wrong about? Trusting a lot of you motherfuckers out there. And I'm talking about these old bitter ass women and these simps. The especially the ones that I didn't know were simps to begin with. I mean, I'm not doing this if you're not with us, you're against us. I'm just saying I'm pointing at people, and I know you're against me. So why am I giving you a chance? Why am I being the balanced guy? I've been made a fool of. Period. I have started to believe that a little while ago, and I will be a fool no more. I mean, I'm one of the more agreeable people in this space, and for some instances, I feel kind of taken advantage of, and I take accountability for that. I will come forward and tell you that I've been the fool. So I ain't gonna do that anymore. I know you guys expect me to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. Nobody, but and then again, nobody's above reproach as well. So, for my subscribers, for my panelists, and people in the chat, feel free to hold me accountable. I'm not afraid of accountability. I will see it as safe advice. I won't take it too personal, and I definitely won't try to censor you because we're not about that here over on Black Men Being Brutally Honest. We're not about that on the Habitual Line Steppers, and we should not be about that in the Black Manosphere. Also, we have to give a close examination to a lot of them, unfortunately, to a lot of men in this space. Especially some certain more, some of these content creators that are held as thought leaders. We got to be careful with them too. And I've learned my lesson with that as well. So, but one day at a time. So anyway, thank you for all of your super chat support. I really appreciate it. That help keeps this channel going, and it helps keeps me motivated to keep bringing you content. And yes, this is a platform for Black men. That's why I named it Black Men Being Brutally Honest, because that's just it. The first two words are key. Black men. I do not mind the aid of women who really want to help us and really want to participate in the process. But hey, because of people like me, they're fucking it up for you really bad. I mean, so bad to the point where there's a lot of men that don't even want you in the conversations now. You know what I'm saying? And as long as the collective of women don't rail against shit like that, it's gonna remain that way. And it's not black men being unreasonable, because we already know your opinion of us anyway. We already know this. It's not something that we have to give you a chance over or anything like that. So as long as you continue to make it tough for yourselves, you bitter females out there that believe in censorship, that is your fault. And you're making it tougher for the women that have genuine intentions. So I mean, just chew on that for a while and just think about what I say. And I mean, you ain't gotta listen to me, but if you want to fuck yourself up, hey, that's fine with me. Shoot, I don't have to sympathize with you. I know how you feel about me. I know how you feel about black men in general. And because of that, things got to be the way they are. So for the women I mentioned earlier that I said they were okay, hey, I mean, y'all cool, but guess who's making it tough for you? Women like me. So, hey, it is what it is at this point. We will continue to have these productive conversations informing black men and, basically to put those cautionary tales out there, so we can do more preventative maintenance. And I will still continue to be a social warrior, so to speak, for black men and, us getting our word out there because it's much needed. Because, and I'm sorry to say this, some of our previous generations let us down when it came to that. And, lean more toward the woman. And that's the thanks they got, and that's the thanks we're getting. So hey, let's all try to get through this together, black man. And for those of us who want to genuinely ally with us, black men, hey, we appreciate it. But there's things that have to be considered a certain way at this point. And now you know why. Shout out to Keep It 100 for exposing that, which is exactly what was needed. And, just to let us know what we're up against. And if you continue the way you guys continue If you continue to let these people in your space, these bitter ass women in your space, then hey, then we're gonna have to ixnay YouTube. You know, we're gonna have to ostracize YouTube because I'm not putting up with any more of this shit. Y'all can go, do whatever to yourselves. I don't care. But that's it. Thanks for your super chat support. Thanks for your likes. Thanks for your thanks for your thanks for all that you do, your views. Thanks for supporting this channel. This is Kev. Uh, long live the habitual line steppers. Peace out.